I don't think you two are coming through, so I'll just sort that out.
Why not, man?
Would it help if I talk so you can check your levels and fix things?
Not really, no.
'Cause I
So
can keep
yeah,
talking if
you're
you need.
coming through now,
Oh,
so
sweet.
that's fine. I think we're good to go.
Okay,
Can we cut the condescending crap and play the game?
so we're ready to begin then.
We are ready to begin.
Hey, Duchess, we're about to begin.
Yay.
I said I'm already started, and now I lied. Here we go.
Here we go.
Let's start the motherfucking show, bitch.
I wasn't ignoring them. I just didn't respond to them. Hi, Duchess.
Hey, you all?
Welcome. Yeah, that's the theme song. Shush. You can't talk during the theme song.
We can't talk during the theme song.
I can do whatever I want.
No, you can't.
You'll ruin the show.
Ruin the Christmas.
It's the veteran gamers.
Ah.
It's the veteran gamers.
Oh,
Ooh.
yeah.
Uh-huh.
Sex noises into the microphone for 10 seconds.
What the fuck was that?
Switch that camp.
Oh, right, yeah. It was that thing.
Press repeat, yo.
I didn't know the Canadians was clever as that.
Hello and welcome to episode 694 of the Veteran Gamers podcast.
Yay, 694, which is exactly what it says on YouTube here. Oh, wait, no, it doesn't. Oh, well.
I've changed it, but you've got to refresh
Okay.
it.
Oh, I thought I just did, but whatever. Hi, everybody. I'm Duke.
I'm Stu.
Chinny.
Yay.
And I'm folding Landry.
Folding Landry. What's Landry?
That is how they say laundry on the Coach Z cartoon with PCP, the guest rapper.
Oh, okay.
So anytime I have an opportunity to say Landry instead of laundry, I do that because it's a reference to Homestar Runner. Anytime I have a chance to say lunch instead of lunch, and every email I send, it's got 2 C's in it. And what's the other one? Oh yeah, nice jorb. I'll put on students' papers and.
Tell you what,
"Good job."
it's a hoot a minute with you, isn't it?
It is.
Anybody
Every
who
day's
knows
a winner.
Homestar Runner is having a hoot a minute. Why does the stream keep cutting off on my screen?
Because
I
it's
have no
your
idea.
problem. I don't know.
Yeah. Third world problem. Well, first world
Okay,
problem.
I'm just letting you
should I
know
say.
there may be other listeners who have.
I
that
don't
same
think
problem.
so.
Mm-mm.
Okay.
It's just you.
Just you,
And it still
baby.
says
Just you
693,
with
but
your
whatever.
crappy internet.
It's just me with my.
I think
crappy
I'm going to
internet.
cut my hair tomorrow.
Oh, yeah.
Oh my goodness!
Oh, my God.
What's up with that?
It's quite
Yeah, what's
long.
happening?
It's quite long.
So it's quite sexy. You mean?
Yeah, sexy man. So I had my haircut on Thursday. Get this, for the first time, Millie didn't do it in 3 years.
Bloody hell.
3 years. I went. Well, basically, her hairdresser.
Oh, here comes the story time. We better have a story.
Well,
My favorite time. It's story time.
Story time.
About haircuts.
now as you know, I'm a cheapskate at
No,
heart.
you?
Totally.
Don't be
Totally.
surprised.
I don't mind admitting it. But here's the thing, right? So, Millie's hairdresser is training to be a barber.
Ah,
So she wanted like people to model for her so she could
Sure.
practice haircutting on blokes instead of
do you
women.
have any idea what it's like to cut the same head for 4 years?
Exactly. So yeah, it cost £5, half price because
Well,
she's
alright.
training. So yeah, £5
Bloody
haircut,
hell.
Sure.
and she did.
And she
Do
did
you
a
know
great
what? She's
job.
done
You
a
look
pretty
very
good job.
sexy.
She's done a pretty good job.
Good job.
So
Yes,
can't
she did.
complain.
Good job, Millie's friend.
Yeah,
Well
good
done,
job,
Millie's friend.
Hairdresser.
Yeah. Anybody else story time? Anybody else having problems with this YouTube thing?
Yeah.
No one is.
No, it's just
We
you.
got
Okay, I'm
James
glad
Bevan
to
in the
hear it, 'cause I
chat.
am.
James Bevan in the chat. He says, "Sup, veterans. Hope you're all good."
Sup?
Carlin All Cars says, "Duke, I just tweeted about this new Super Meat Boy game my boy has introduced me to. It's like Mario
Yeah.
Run, but with blood and gore. I remember you completed Super Meat Boy. You interested
I
in
did,
giving it a
twice.
go? If you haven't
I should-
already."
I should talk about that. Oh wait, I
Yeah.
just did.
We talked about this last
week.
didn't
Yeah,
Yeah.
I talked about it last week. Now that's the most recent one, which is the remake of Cala Dr. Blibla's blah blah. You had
Yeah.
some full name that has to get said every time, Chinny.
we? The blip, blip, blip.
Dr. Robotnik's Mean Bean Machine is the
That
the
thing.
old
Yeah,
one.
but I think this
Now,
one
the,
is
the
it's
Infinite
not
Runner is probably the one
Yeah.
they're talking about, which
Yeah,
I have
yeah,
not
yeah,
played.
yeah.
I played a little.
Super
I played
Meat
for like
Boy
5 seconds. I said,
forever.
Nope, not playing that shit. Sorry.
Forever.
Nope.
No.
I'm afraid I just don't have time for it.
Ain't nobody got time for that.
It's not about time. It's not about any interest.
How's Duke?
Yeah, Duke.
Duke's
How is
good.
Duke?
Duke is.
It is a
grading some
lottery
papers
how you
today.
feel sometimes when we go on this show.
What?
You know, sometimes we go on the show and you're like, oh, I'm not talking to anyone. Oh, I've
Yeah,
had
yeah.
papers to grade. Oh, I've killed a
not
a
this week.
man
I've
because
got
he
work
looked
to
at my
do.
farm wrong. Like,
no,
you know.
No, none of that. We went to brunch today and it was great. And we
let's
went
do
to Macbeth
brunch.
last night.
Where'd you go
Yeah,
last night?
we went to see Macbeth, the Shakespeare
Macbeth.
play.
Oh. Right. The Scottish play.
Yeah,
The
you're not
Scottish
allowed to
play,
call
that's
it.
right.
You're not allowed to say
Only
the
if you
word.
Not
only
while
if
you're
you're
in the
on
theater.
yeah, if you
But you know what?
if you talent.
It was okay. That never became an issue because we didn't go into the theater.
Oh, there's a
Oh,
story.
here we
Because we
go.
went to the counter, we'll call. It's like, we're here to get our tickets. And they go, we don't have any tickets under that name. We're like, what are you talking about? We bought them. I got the receipt right here. And then talk to my friend with the computer. All right, talk to the friend of the computer. What's your last name? Spell it out for him.
Bleep,
They
bloop,
go,
bleep.
look it up. Oh, you bought tickets for next weekend.
You
Oh, you
bloody
idiot.
tit.
All right,
That
now
is
you don't have to
funny,
call the
though.
Duchess that. Damn.
Oh,
Yeah.
I thought it was you.
You're both a couple of tits. That's what you are.
No, the
Jesus.
Duchess made a mistake. So we had gone all the way to Madison. We had eaten at a delicious Mexican restaurant.
Same thing.
And
Same thing.
Yeah, exactly. Same
Same
kind of
thing.
food. And we went and then we parked. We paid $10 to park, and then we turned right back around.
Oh,
It's like
wow,
when
that was an
Abe
expensive
Simpson
night.
Goes into the burlesque house, and Bart's working there, and he's
Yeah,
yeah.
Um,
Look,
Ja-
it wasn't all lost. It wasn't all lost.
Well,
Well, I mean the $10.
Well, you didn't get it.
was
But
lost.
you had a
$10
nice
was lost.
meal.
Well, yeah.
you had a
And
funny
I wasn't
story
that
for the
bothered.
show.
Duchess kept
Funny
saying,
story.
yeah, exactly. The Duchess was like, "I'm so sorry. I'm really sorry. I'm so." I'm like, "It's not that big a deal. We'll go next weekend. It's okay."
Yeah.
But
You should be
Anyway.
sorry. This
Yeah,
has
you
made
should.
me
I've been
very sad.
You ruined my weekend and then ruined the show today. But it's funny because I used that Abe Simpson clip to show my students because I had something new happen this week that has never happened to me in 30 years of human rights work.
What?
I know, right? So I've been sponsoring the Amnesty International group at our high school for 15 years, maybe 10, 15 years, something like that. And we've been doing this postcard campaign called Right for Rights, WRITE, letter number.
I
the
got you.
number
I'm with you. I'm
R-I-T-E.
following
Yeah,
the
it's
plot.
very clever,
I'm following the
yeah.
plot.
Yeah, play
So
on
we
words,
gather
I like it.
postcards, and then we send off the postcards to these governments. This year it was Bangladesh and Tanzania.
Bognor Regis.
and I can't remember the fourth
Skegness.
country, but anyway, so the third country I don't remember, but the fourth country is Russia. And so we gathered the
Aha.
postcards for this woman in Russia who's been imprisoned because Vladimir Putin sucks.
Oh
And,
no.
yeah. And then so we sent the postcards. And then I get the envelope back. It hasn't been opened. It just says refused.
Nice.
I'm like, what?
Yeah.
How much of a punk is Vladimir Putin? He can't even handle some postcards from high schoolers. Don't open it. Send it
I like the
back.
idea that he actually personally came to his desk.
Oh yeah, it was
Like-
actually Putin. Like,
Vladimir,
"No,
we got
send it back."
some letters for some prison, but you're too busy. Like you don't need to look at them. And he goes, no,
let me see, let
let
me
me look at them. I want to read them and cry.
I want to laugh at what they say about this person.
I want to
Hold
cry.
on, wait, it's Amnesty International. Send it back.
Send it back. I am too busy
You're
for
too
this.
scared.
James in the chat
Vladimir
says.
Putin's a punk.
James in the chat says, "How's Vladimir Putin?" No, he didn't say that. He said, "Hey chaps, all good. Chinny enjoying the snooker world championship. I
Yeah, that
am.
sounds like a segue.
I am enjoying it. It's the
Who do you
snooker."
like this year in the championship?
Well, this is the thing, right? Ronnie O'Sullivan is the man, right? He's the GOAT.
gonna
He's
win
the
everything.
greatest
He's a
snooker
man,
player
man.
of all time.
Is he a man or is he a goat? Which is it?
He's a man GOAT, right?
both.
And if he wins it this time, he will do something that no snooker player has ever done, which is win it 8 times. He equalised Stephen
Lance
Andrews last
Armstrong
year.
of snooker.
He's amazing. He's like the best man
Sure.
that is a person that has
You know,
picked up a
I
snooker
know
cue.
whose name I'm familiar with in the world of snooker. That means
Yeah.
something.
Ronnie. So everybody's team Ronnie. I think the only person, this is for people that give a shit of what I think about the snooker, the only person that can give him like a fighting chance is Mark Allen.
That guy sucks.
Mark Allen has been playing very well all year. So, and then you got John Higgins, but that's about it. So that's my
Yeah.
take. If he
So
does
Ronnie
win it,
O'Sullivan if Ronnie O'Sullivan's the Lance Armstrong of snooker, does that mean that in a year we're going to find out that he's been playing this whole time with only one testicle?
It's possible. It's possible with Ronnie.
And
Like,
also on drugs.
yeah, he's been on drugs already. He's done that. He's done that stint of his career. Yeah. So, an impressive fact about me, Stuart, you might not know,
Yes.
that
Go
I can
on.
name every winner of the World Snooker Championship if you just give me the year, right? So,
you know, that does not surprise me.
1943.
no, from 1969, by the way, from
Oh,
1969.
okay.
I think 1942 was probably Joe Davis because he won it for like 14 years or something in the 40s.
Let's have a look. Let's see how good he is at this.
So,
Right, are you ready, Duke? I will ask the question. You look up the years and see. Are you ready?
okay, and I'm not
Yeah.
googling. You can
Oh,
see.
James,
You can.
James, hold your hands up so that we know.
I'm
this is
holding my
true.
hands up. You're 15 seconds behind. Remember
That is
so-
true. Okay, James.
1946, by the way, was Joe Davis. So
Told you.
got it right.
It
It is just Joe Davis. Joe Davis.
It's Joe Davis like 14 times or something in the 40s. Like. I think he was
1948. 1948 was Fred Davis.
Fred
And then
Davis. Yeah,
Fred
it's his
Davis
brother.
was-
It was his brother.
James wants to know 1980. James.
1980 is very, very easy. It's Cliff Thorburn, the last Canadian or the first Canadian to ever win it. Cliff Thorburn.
Was he the first person to get a televised 147?
He was the first person to get a 147 at the Crucible. Steve Davis was the first person to get a televised 147.
I was close, though. You've got to impress. Are you not impressed with my snooker knowledge there, Nearly?
Let's all just ignore the fact that I know everything off by heart and be impressed by the one thing that you
I
remember.
really know something.
Okay.
Try 76 says 1986.
1986 was Joe Johnson. It was the first time he won it. He came out of nowhere. He was a qualifier. Bam.
Okay, I'm gonna go 1972, the year of my birth.
Okay, 1972 is easy. Alex Higgins is his first one. It was in Birmingham.
Oh,
He's on fire. Chicken
is.
knows everything.
Duke, come on. Ask
Give
a
me
question.
give me one. Give me 2 more years. 2 more years.
2003. 2003.
2003. Was Mark Williams. It was the second time he won it.
It was Mark Williams. That's correct.
Wow.
Look at you go.
Again.
Final one,
All right.
Duke.
It's
Final
very
one.
impressive. You know all these things. Let's
Final
let's-
one. Give me one more.
Final one. Final one.
Given anything now.
I love Duke. He's so funny.
1991.
Oh, there you go.
It's John Parrott.
It is John
John
Parrott.
Parrott.
Yay.
There's a thing
All
at
right,
the,
moving
at the there's a thing at the snooker where like, everybody who wins the worlds for the first time, nobody has ever come back and won it again the following year. So like Stephen Hendry, if you look on the list, Stephen Hendry won it in 1990, and then from 92 to 96, yeah, he won it like 5 times, but he didn't win it in 1991. It's called the Crucible Curse. So there you go. No one ever wins it the second time after they've won it the first time. But anyway,
That's quite impressive knowledge, Ginny. I am impressed.
yeah,
It's
I'm trying to
impressive knowledge.
memorize that. I'm trying to memorize who they played. I'm getting there with who they played. I'm not really
Yeah.
great at that.
Yeah,
but
yeah. So you're trying to get all the facts. of
yeah,
it.
and then I'm going to do the
It's
masters
almost
as
as
well.
impressive as an encyclopedic knowledge of Latin tattoos.
This would be like Ginny would be like on Mastermind. It's like specialist
Yeah.
subject.
Yeah.
Who won the snooker world championships 1969 to present day?
Yes. Yeah, it's funny. Right.
There you go.
Okay. Let's do
Okay. Anybody
games
else
and
got any
stuff.
stories or things you want?
No,
to
let's
quiz
fucking
you
move
on?
on. We're talking
Yeah, it's fucking-
winner of snooker champion. Like we're fucking desperate, aren't we? Jesus Christ.
Okay, fair enough.
Where are you going? Story time's over, isn't it?
What you been playing?
What you been playing? What you been playing?
Sex noises into the microphone for 10 seconds.
We have got a question before we move on, by the way. Colin
Ooh,
Allcar says, how do you feel about the John Higgins from
Hello.
a few years ago?
The John Higgins match fiction. It's kind of like all. That's all people remember him for, like because he was caught on camera.
Yeah, it's
it
like
was
how
it
I
was
remember Lance Armstrong for doing drugs and having one
it was worse for John because he was caught on camera saying something quite bad, but he never actually did anything. Right? He didn't go through with it. But he was caught on camera. Since then, there have been many people that have been caught match fixing and done a lot worse than John, including
Yeah.
9 Chinese players that were all involved in match fixing. And then Mark King, very recently, who's been a snooker player for years and years and years, suffered a lot with gambling, and unfortunately got done up with match fixing recently. So a lot of people have done way worse than John. You know, and
So what did he do?
he
Exactly. I don't
basically
know.
sort of got caught saying that we could like basically, what a lot of these snooker players do is they bet that they're going to lose the first frame, so they throw the first frame and then win it back. And John Higgins says, "Oh, if you do this, like, you know, we could hide the money in like a Spanish villa or something that he was going to buy." And he was like, "Yeah, I could do that." And that's about as much as he did. But it was bad for him because he was caught on camera saying it, whereas the others are all done sort of behind closed doors.
Was it like a tabloid newspaper sting thing?
Yeah, it was. Yeah, I think it was News of the World that caught him. Yeah, but it was more. It was worse for him because he got caught saying. You could see him saying it. You can find it on YouTube. Whereas, like, as I say, like 9 of those Chinese players, well, I think 10 actually, all got caught cheating within the last year. And Mark King, which is like worse. It's way worse. And then Stephen Lee, who's a snooker player, he got banned for 10 years. Interestingly enough, he's going to be coming back next year. So, yeah, it's a lot of people do a lot worse.
Chinny hates Chinese snooker players.
Yeah,
it does.
Well, there's a very good one at the moment. Sejong Wei. Sejong Wei is very, very good. So, yes, snooker stuff.
All right.
Snooker,
Now,
that is
anything else
it,
about
that one.
snooker? Are we ready to draw?
we're
a
done.
Fuck
line
snooker.
under it? Okay, great.
Yeah,
Fuck it.
Down with snooker.
it's done.
All right. So, video games. Where are we going to begin?
Well, Stu, we got to start with our play day, haven't we?
Yeah, we have.
Oh,
Oh, you had a little play.
Yeah,
Wreckfest.
because Duke turned up, of course, you know. Play some multiplayer with us and everything. He was such a
Wait a
team
minute.
player.
When did you say you were going to do this?
In the
Oh,
Discord.
well, he was in the Discord. Yeah.
I don't look at Discord. You know you have me on goddamn WhatsApp, don't you?
Well, Duke, just to feel a little bit better about the fact you didn't turn up, right?
Yeah.
It,
I feel fine. I'm not sad or angry.
it didn't
feel bad
work.
about it.
We couldn't
Yeah, it didn't
connect
work.
to
It
each
didn't
other.
work.
It was just fucking terrible.
Well, that'll teach you to try to exclude me. This is middle school all over.
It didn't work.
What am I, 13?
I said, well, no, to be fair, I said,
Let's have a
to
fun time and not
yeah.
invite Piachowski.
But we have played the game, but just not with each other. So we did. So
I
shall
played
we
the
talk
game.
Yeah.
shall we talk a little bit about the game?
Yes,
Yeah.
we should talk about it. Bitch. Yeah, bitch. Yeah, bitch.
Play my game, bitch.
That
Short
stopped
mix.
really quickly.
Yeah, it does.
I figured people talking about making this theme song shorter.
Bitch. Right. Anyway,
Right.
so play my game, bitch.
Didn't realise I offended someone with that. You know, it's Jesus.
Was Wreckfest. So,
Right.
first impressions, people. What did you think?
This game came out. First of all, for those who don't know, this game came out. What was the year of initial release?
I don't know. Probably 2020. I have no idea. Actually.
I don't know.
18, it looks like.
know much about
Wikipedia
it.
says created by Bugbear Entertainment. And what else did they
Oh
do?
my God! The 2014. This Wreckfest came out.
Wow, is that as old as
Really?
this? This
Yeah.
is old as that, even.
Not
By
according
English.
to this. Where'd you get 2014 from?
Google.
Google.
Well, Google is not a source; it's a search engine. But
Yeah,
anyway,
you're right. No, you're right. It's 2018. You're right.
oh, okay. So, that's okay. You know, everyone makes mistakes.
Maybe
Listen,
people should think before they speak.
So Bugbear Entertainment made a bunch of other car games, including Rally Trophy, Flat Out, and Ridge Racer Unbounded.
Easy for you to say.
Racer, do you
They're
remember
no
that?
Strangers to racing games. It is a spiritual successor to the Flat Out series and a cross between Flat Out Destruction Derby and the cult 1989 PC racer Street Rod.
People
The
love.
notable feature.
People love the Flat Out series. I just people.
I guess
it's
so.
Very well.
A notable
Love it.
feature of this game engine is the use of soft body damage modeling, which enables location-based damage that affects the driving dynamics of vehicles in a realistic fashion. So,
Yeah, I noticed that. I thought the bodywork dismemberment when you crash into a car and you go fuck you.
yeah.
That works well, and I liked the fact that there were pieces on the track. And you're like, oh yeah, look, these are all the body parts of all the dead cars. And sometimes
And the-
I was racing, and like a car would just come out of nowhere, who's like obviously so behind that he's just gone fucking Hail Mary and gone for me. So I thought that was really good.
Yeah,
the first level is this lawnmower demolition derby, which is a
yeah.
lot of fun. Very silly.
Very silly.
Yeah, it is. By the way, I had a race in a car and I hit the barrier, and the car literally looked like a matchbox. It was that smashed up. And I still won the race.
Yeah.
And I'm like, how the hell? That car in real life would just not drive anymore. It would
right.
just not go anywhere.
Now, I was actually at the the planning session, the game development.
Oh, was you
session for
really?
this
I never
game.
know that.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
right. Have you got a
Really,
recording?
and I do have some
Oh,
recordings.
you've got a
so we'll,
recording. I thought you
back in
might.
time. All right, guys, listen
Yeah,
to
yeah,
this.
yeah, yeah,
Check it
yeah.
out.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're gonna love it.
Why are we
alright?
talking like this? I don't know.
Oh, how we made Flat Out. You remember that?
Yeah, I remember Flat Out. Yeah, it was
Demolition Game. How
good
about we
times,
do
good
this?
times.
Right. I got this idea. You ready?
Yeah, yeah,
It's a
yeah, yeah,
demolition derby game.
yeah. I'm
And
listening.
like it's a lot of fun, and there's like soft modeling
Aye,
collisions,
aye.
and pieces
I'm-
of the car
I'm
flying
listening.
off and stuff. Isn't that great? That sound like a great idea.
Sounds great.
I have an idea. What if we also make it a racing game? Well, no, I think we should have
No,
a demolition
fuck
game.
you.
That'd be
Who
fun.
are
No,
you anyway?
Regular racing.
No, fuck.
How about we do both?
Ah,
Doesn't
do we?
sound like it'll be fun. Fuck
do-
you, we're doing both.
Ah, fuck.
So the problem with the game
That's a great
is,
recording that you had there, dude.
Isn't it great? It's like
Yeah, it's
crystal
like I was
clear
there.
quality.
Yeah.
It's like the guy in Oklahoma who found the sheriffs talking about how they want to kill the journalist.
Sure, it's exactly like that.
It's-
Yeah, I don't know what that
It's
was.
trying to be
no
two
idea
things
what
at
that
once.
reference was.
Look,
No
I want to
idea.
play a game where you crash into other cars and blow things up and cause
Yeah.
the other cars to go flying out. But I'm not trying to keep track of who's in first place, because the more time you spend trying to crash into other cars, the less well you'll do on the race.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the
And I
problem.
was just like,
Well,
come on,
what
man.
what that's reminded me of is like I was a huge fan of Carmageddon, like back in the day. Carmageddon
Sure.
2 was my favorite one. I only really sort of realized about like a week later after playing that game that that you could win by racing. Do you know what I mean? Because the whole game
Yeah.
starts off with
Right.
just kill everyone,
Sure.
and you've got like power ups with springs on and all sorts of stuff.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, I think you could actually just race around the game like I win. But nobody does. Not even the AI. The AI doesn't even bother doing
Of
it.
course not.
So
Yeah.
it's I love that about that game.
But
And-
this
and
game
like-
kind of does that, doesn't it? Because it introduces you to the lawnmowers and kill everyone.
Yeah,
that
but then
moves.
the rest of the game, there's
He's
no
racing.
point in trying to ruin other. I mean, maybe you can get lucky like Stu and be a Matchbox flip around
yeah,
crash up
yeah, I
car
was
and then
fucked.
still
I was
win.
like, how the
But
hell
every time
did-
I got touched by anybody, I was like, and then it was like, ninth place. I might as well not try to win.
Yeah, I
And
could go on.
This
Jake, sorry.
reminded me of like Burnout 3.
That's a good
Takedown.
burnout.
That was the one. That
That's
was
a
the
good
jam
burnout.
because it was all about like bouncing off the other cars. It's
Yeah.
totally unrealistic. I
Yeah.
think the problem with this game is that it craves the realism too much.
Yeah, it's a fine line that you know, is it trying to be an arcade game or is it trying to be a realistic sim? And it
Yeah.
feels like it hasn't quite found out what it wants to do. I liked it. According to the game, I'd already played it and completely forgot.
Oh,
So
wow.
that's fun. So yeah, I played a few races and it was good, but yeah.
It was kind
Sorry, I
of fun.
couldn't
I mean,
mute.
the
Sorry, I
physics
couldn't mute.
worked fine. The steering was fine.
Oh yeah. Oh sure.
And it was
the
very
physics were fine.
arcadey. You know what I mean? It's not trying to be.
Except that
sim
it kept
racer.
saying speed too fast. I'm like, motherfucker, I thought this was a demolition game where I'm trying to crash into the other drivers. I go into a turn and it's like speed too fast. I wish it were more arcadey. I felt like it was too sim-like.
See, I wasn't too bothered once I'd done a few races and got my head around the physics. I did all right. I mean, I came first a couple of times, got a couple of second places. I got to level 5 or 6 or something.
How many cars did you take down?
None. I was racing. I wasn't trying to
See,
take
you're too
cars
busy
down.
racing. See, that's the point, though. You can do that in Forza. You could do that
Yeah,
in
you
Burnout
can. That's the
Paradise.
problem. I
There's
would try to
100
take
other
cars
racing
down.
games you could be playing. Why play this?
Well, you know, the other cars are quite aggressive. A couple of times they're trying to sideswipe me and, you know, knock me
Yeah,
off
well,
the track and all
but that
kind
was
of
the thing
stuff.
I liked at first. I was like, oh, this is how I play every racing game. Just like bump up against the other cars, and then I get to pull ahead of them. But like, I don't know. It felt like I wanted to actually destroy the other cars. So when I got done with this, I put up Need for Speed Hot Pursuit again, because that game's all about like taking down other cars, like
Yeah.
crashing into them and blowing them up.
Yeah. And so I don't know. I haven't really got much to say about it. It's
No, it's an all right game.
it's an alright
but
game. I would
think
play it while listening to a podcast or something. I
I
would
think
do
if
that.
if the multiplayer worked, it'd probably be a lot more
But it
fun.
didn't, did it, Stu?
But it fucking didn't, because we couldn't get in.
I think a multiplayer with the demolition derby part would be great.
Yeah.
I think that.
Yeah.
Again, like if I want to race, I'm gonna play Forza. Or
No,
Need for
when-
Speed
when we-
Unbound
when
or
I did
something.
set
if
up
I
a
want to play
server-
Demolition Derby, if I want to like
Yeah.
crash into people, I'll play.
Yeah.
You know, Burnout 3 you can't play because I went looking on like EA and stuff. They're like doesn't exist. Everyone's like you got to do emulators. I'm like, fuck that. Shit.
No.
No, when I set it up, the first server it set up was a demolition derby, and it was like add bots. So even if there's only a few of you, you can add bots in to make it more interesting.
That's right. Kill the robot.
But it didn't work. It just didn't. We couldn't connect. Chinny couldn't connect to me. He couldn't set up a server.
I couldn't even set up a server. Yeah.
I set one up.
It's only 5 years old. Why wouldn't the server still be working?
Well, maybe it just doesn't work. I don't know.
Haters gonna hate.
My guess is that they no longer work. Why would this company keep these servers going for a 5-year-old game?
Possible, I guess.
There's no good reason.
Anyway, there's RecFest.
But it didn't work anyway.
So, RecFest.
FetchQuest.
FetchQuest.
Yeah.
Rename it.
Rec. If you played it, what do you think? Put it in the chat. Tell us what you think. Email, SpeakPipe. Let us know.
If you didn't play it, tell us what you think of not playing it.
Yeah, not playing it.
How was your week not playing this game?
Just tell us, like,
Play
you know,
the game we play next week?
I looked at it and was like, nah.
Yeah.
Like, tell us
So
that.
what are we playing next week? Let's let everyone know.
Oh,
right up
yeah,
front
what are we
we're
playing
for
next week?
Oh, yeah,
There's a
we'll
game
figure it
on
out.
Steam that's free. Well, no, it's a good time to talk about
Well,
it now.
Ginny
because
never
people can
plays
join
Steam games. You know what he's like.
I'll play a Steam game if I bloody have to.
Fussy. It's fussy, lad.
No, I'll play a Steam
Zombie
game.
Blocks 2 is a new free open alpha game. It
I'll
could be fun.
Let me correct. I will play a good Steam game. If I
Yeah,
have
what
to.
are you
there's
talking
no good
about?
free
What
Steam
is
games.
it called?
How about Minecraft Legends? That's new on
Oh
Xbox.
yeah, that's on a
Yeah,
thing,
it's on.
isn't it?
We'll
Yeah,
give that
that's
a go.
new, yeah,
But
yeah.
like the
Okay, everyone
Minecraft,
out there, play some Minecraft
Play some
Legends.
Minecraft
Okay,
It's a
Legends.
very
That seems
different
like
kind
a
of
good idea.
Minecraft game. What is
Oh.
it? Strategy or something?
Another clue.
Adventure?
I think it's like a mix between RTS and
Yeah.
sort of Stardew.
Yeah, well, give it a
Yeah,
go.
maybe. Well, we'll find out next week. We'll tell you all about it,
so,
everybody.
Here's
you
the
can play
thing,
it
though,
with us.
Duke. Here's
Yeah,
the
what's
thing.
the thing, though, Stu?
We couldn't get Wreckfest to work as a multiplayer. So what do you do
Yeah.
if you can't get a multiplayer game to work?
Give up?
No,
Play
you do.
single
You
player?
play another one. So
Yeah.
we played
Oh,
another
okay.
game, didn't
Well,
we?
I suppose if you've gathered for a game date, sure.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah, what'd
So,
you play?
Well, we decided to play something we both knew well and were comfortable playing together.
Yeah.
Not the game that you said we were all going to play together.
It did involve cock and balls. Just saying.
What?
Right.
What are you talking about?
That game would be Power Wash Simulator.
You motherfuckers!
No, no, no,
As
no, no,
soon
no,
as
no,
the
no, no, no,
Warcraft
no, no,
logo
no,
is
no,
out, you
no.
go, Hey,
Wait,
let's do
wait,
it together. Let's
wait,
all get it
wait,
together. And now you're like, oh,
wait,
guess what? Fuck Duke. Let's do it
Wait,
on our own.
wait.
You
What
bitch,
did
quit the
what did
fucking
we
call,
do?
man.
What did we do, Stu? We
we
said
played
we
the-
won't
we
play
did
the Laura. Oh, he's quit.
Stuff.
He's
Oh,
quit.
God,
He's
is he
quit
gone
the
now?
show.
I'm just
Uh,
playing.
No,
I hear you, I
we
hear
said
you.
that
Thank
we
you for
won't
not doing
play
the
the
Lara
Lara
You won't
Croft
play Lara
thing
Right. That's right,
because
you bet not.
Duke
we
isn't
didn't.
here.
It's fine.
Yeah.
It's fine.
That's right.
So we didn't. No, but we were cleaning the playground.
Don't make me break my foot off in your ass!
Kay's like, "What are you playing? What are you doing? What are you playing?"
What are you
And I'm like,
buying?
Washing stuff each other.
And I'm
I mean,
like, I'm playing right, and I'm like playing Power Wash Simulator, and she's like, "You are."
yeah.
So I drew a big cock and balls on the ground, and she went, "Is that the game? Just doing juvenile stuff?"
Yeah.
It is when Stu's playing.
It is what I'm playing, and then Chinny
Yeah.
drew some ladies' boobs,
I did.
you know, and then she's like, "Is this it? Is this the game?" I'm like, "No."
I also wrote in
You did,
shoe
you
stinks.
did, You did.
Shoe stinks.
So anyway, I said, "No, you've got to clean stuff," and she went, "What?"
Yeah.
I'm like, you know, clean stuff with your power washer, and she's
Yeah.
like, "How is this even a thing?" I'm like, "This thing sold 3 million copies on Steam.
Yeah.
and made over $50 million.
know.
This is a a highly acclaimed, critically loved game." And she's
That's
like,
right.
"What?" And she could not conceive why anybody in the right
yeah.
mind would play a game where
Stu,
you.
she's
Right,
correct.
It does therefore make
She's-
sense that Stu's playing it.
She's correct
Yeah.
though. She's correct
Yeah.
that this shouldn't exist.
It's true.
It is.
Did she know you play Lawnmower Simulator? 'Cause
Yeah, I
that's even
told
more
her that. I said I
ridiculous.
played another one
Yeah.
where you just mow lawns, and
Yeah.
she's like, "Really? You hate mowing lawns?" I'm like, "Yeah,
Oh,
but
there
you
you
know, it's different when
Yeah,
you're
it's like on The
sit-on
Simpsons. I'll go
lawnmower."
on the Yard Work Simulator.
Exactly. So, and then she went, "Well, you can do that for real because we need stuff that needs power washing outside." And I was like, "Yeah." I said,
girl.
I want some fried sugar. I want to go on the yard work simulator.
but it's like I said to her, right? You can do all the mess without getting messy.
Yeah.
Because in real life, this is what happens when you power wash stuff in real life, right?
Yeah.
You put your wellies
Let's
in your
explain
old...
it to the listeners. They have
you
no
put
idea.
your wellies in... No, this is true. You put your wellies in your old jeans on, and you basically get covered in shit. I mean,
Well,
that stuff
yeah.
sprays.
I mean, that's what
fucking
happens
dirt
anytime I wash
everywhere.
anything.
Covered in
That's
it.
what happens when you
You're
wash your car,
wet,
isn't it?
You're cold.
Not when I-
It's
when-
uncomfortable. You got water down
Cold?
your wellies.
Okay.
Well, you know, you got water fucking everywhere, and you're sopping wet through, right? I'm like, you can do all that with none
Tell
of
us
the
more
mess.
about what happened. Are y'all soaped up, Stu? Are you
I like being
getting
soaked up.
lathered?
I tend to do
Yeah.
it topless, so I must admit I take my shirt off.
Ooh, tell me
Yeah.
more.
Yeah, I do.
Oh.
And I hold my
I
powerful
am
tool
stopping this now.
in both hands. Oh yeah, I do.
Maybe we can move on from time.
Yes.
How was the
God.
game? Did you have fun playing?
Yeah,
the
we did have
Power
fun.
Wash?
I cleaned some.
Great.
Obviously, you love cleaning, as
What
you
were you
know.
cleaning? What level did you do?
We were
The
doing
playground,
the
wasn't it?
playground.
Yeah.
Playground.
Okay.
So I cleaned
Now,
the
Chinny, have you not already done the
slide.
playground?
Yeah, to be honest, I was just concerned that like I haven't played a multiplayer game in my new setup,
Oh,
and I was like,
sure.
maybe it's
Did it
that.
work
Maybe
okay?
I can't like play a multiplayer game, so I just
Yeah.
like loaded something up. But we do need to play the Lara Croft Mansion.
We do.
Yes, we do.
We
It's
do.
true. Maybe next Saturday is no good. I got stuff.
No
I got
good.
Macbeth next Saturday.
Like I said to Kay, though, we were doing a service because we were cleaning the playground for the kids. You know, so
The
they
virtual
don't get
kids.
some like horrible diseases, you know, from all that
I would assume
bacteria from the
I would
dirt.
assume a playground like that is going to be closed. They're not opening that to the public.
Well,
or
you don't know.
filth
You've not been to
everywhere.
Leyland.
Yeah.
Well, I can't
You
see
haven't
it,
been
so
to
I don't really
Leyland,
know
man.
because I can't.
We-
The thing.
You know, in our
it
local
doesn't have
playground,
anything
you've got to
happening
watch
on
for
it.
the syringes,
And
you
it
know,
won't.
the leftover drugs.
Yeah.
You know,
Okay.
those bloody.
We're moving on.
nitrous
We're
oxide
moving on.
bottles.
We've talked
No,
about
he's
power.
just getting started.
No, we're done. We're done. We're
All
done
right,
with
who's
power
going
wash.
next?
I don't know.
Uh,
You should go, Duke.
Yeah. go
All
for it.
right, I will go. Hey, listeners.
Hello.
Would you like a game that's a lot like Call of Duty? Only
Yes, I would.
Only it's not nearly as thorough or well polished.
It's exactly like Stummies.
And the twist is?
It's a much cheaper game. Well,
Right.
then you're going to want to play Combat Master. Now, first of all, as soon as you hear it, you think to yourself, dude, that's the greatest name in the history of video games, is it not?
Yeah.
Brilliant.
Combat Master.
It's got everything I
like it.
need.
A
I'm
master
the
of
master
combat.
of combat. Yeah,
Master of
exactly.
combat.
This is for you, the master of unlocking. You know, we used to have a whole bunch of knockoff team deathmatch first-person shooters, right?
Yeah.
There was, I can't remember the names of any of them. There was the one with two names, and it was like futuristic, and then there was the other one that was like more. It's like actual military style. Anyway, ever since Call of Duty made a lot of money, there have been some free-to-play ones that have tried to ride the coattails of Call of Duty. And yeah, so anyway, that's this. It's totally stripped down. You don't really have a lot of options. I mean, you got quite a few guns, but I think they saw Call of Duty and they were like, it
guns.
seems a little slow. What if we sped it up a little bit? So it's very frenetic. It's very fast-paced, and you know, Call of Duty, you have about a second and a half of actual gunfight between you and the person you find. This game, it's like half a second. Literally half the time, you're gonna get killed by people you do not see at all. They're showing up behind you. They're popping. They're jumping over your head and shit. It's ridiculous.
Yeah.
But it's great.
Huh.
It's exactly what it says on the tin. It's a lot of fun. You know, because those who know me know that when I play Call of Duty, and I've played a bunch of the Call of Duties, Calls of Duty, I guess. I only play Team Deathmatch. That's the only mode I ever play. So I don't need your headquarters and search and destroy, and I definitely don't need your campaign. You can shove that. So this is perfect for me because it takes, and it used to be once upon a time, you load up Call of Duty, boom, 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 you're in. And then they started adding, the bloat of the campaign and then these battle royale modes and all this shit. And now it takes an hour to load Call of Duty. And most of the time when you start up Call of Duty, you got like a 3 gig update you got to install. Not Combat Master. Combat Master, you're boom, 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 in. And it's just great. Yeah.
It sounds like you were you've basically just described what I was going to talk about.
Oh yeah, another game
yeah?
kind of like that.
Like, well, I played Warzone this week.
Oh, I see. Okay.
I say this week, I mean 2 hours ago.
Well, that was earlier this week.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. I love it. It's exactly what I want. It's some of the fun stuff about Call of Duty. Like for instance, this game doesn't have an in-game chat. So, and granted, a lot of times in video games, an in-game chat is a bad thing because people are like, get good, you suck, easy. But I'm the type of person who will type into a Call of Duty chat like, oh, nice kill, you got me. Or, like if I have a wild shootout with someone and I manage to live with 1% health, I'll be like, I managed to survive in your face or whatever. But this doesn't have that. It does have a chat after the game, but it's the lobby where like everybody is in. So the stream of the chat is just like, how do you play? Ayuda, por favor. All the, who, and everyone starts out. You have to.
I want a bagel. I think I'm in the wrong chat.
Right. Exactly. It defaults you to like player 163287521, right?
Catchy.
And so you have to go in and change your name. And so that's like 80% of the things in the chat are like player 1623577. And then I was like, one time someone was like, you guys suck at this game. And I'm like, first of all, who are you talking to? The people you were just playing with are probably in another game right now, so they're not reading it. And you're just being a sour child. So I wrote, well, you need to learn how to win with dignity. And then everyone's like, what are you talking about? It's a free-to-play game. And I was like, what does that mean? Like, you can't have dignity when you play a free-to-play game? Like,
no dignity.
No
Or
dignity.
no diggity.
But
No diggity.
the funny thing is, as soon as I said that, like 6 people sent me friend requests. And I'm like, stop.
This
I'm not
guy
a
seems
fan."
like a good guy.
So it's
I want to
very
be
weird.
I want to be his friend.
Yeah.
This guy.
Yeah, dude.
Right. So Combat Master is a lot of fun. It's weird because it's Call of Duty generally has 6v6 team deathmatch. This game has 3v3, which is kind of weird. And especially because, it uses the same maps for search and destroy as it does for team deathmatch. So on a search and destroy, you've got A over here, B over here. It's basically ripping off CSGO. And those maps are too big for 3v3 because generally speaking, you're far away from other people. So if I have a submachine gun and I'm, miles away from my enemy, I'm just shooting into nothing and having no impact. But the other thing about this game that's kind of not as good as Call of Duty is you always spawn, so far as I can tell, you tend to spawn from the same area. So spawn camping becomes a thing.
Oh dear.
Oh dear.
I thought.
And I don't know if y'all have played a lot of games with
Well,
spawn
I
camping,
thought
but
we
it's
got
not
rid of this years ago. Spawn camping.
Well, we should, right? But that's the thing is you have to have the technology to say, okay, instead of spawning in one building in one spot, we'll spawn, in this like strange attractor of where the team is. Not this game. You're spawning it upstairs in this warehouse every time. And so if the enemy can get a drop on that building, then they'll just sit and wait for you to come out and then brr, which is very frustrating. But on the other hand, if you can get the drop on the enemy, then you can sit there all day and just as soon as they walk out. So it's great.
Colin
when you're the
Allcars
one
says Ubisoft's X Defiant. It's a free-to-play UB COD.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So
I've never
apparently
heard of
it's-
that.
It's apparently.
X-Defiant.
And Trill Life 101 said, "What's up? I'm a vet too." Now I'm assuming he's a war veteran.
Oh, okay.
I thought he
we are
was a
not
vet.
War veterans.
Could
We're,
be
we're
wrong.
veterans
I
of the
could be
gaming
wrong.
lifestyle. Sorry.
Just to
Yeah.
warn you, we get this all the time.
We do.
Trill.
But
People
it doesn't
think-
matter. You can still
People think
listen.
that we're
Well, of
veterans.
course, we're great. We're fun.
Yeah, we are.
But we're
We're
not.
not.
never
We can't talk to
been
you
in
about
a
what life is
war.
like in the
Yeah.
suck.
I've never
We-
shot a gun in real life. Can I just
Oh,
say?
we're gonna be shooting guns in Vegas, by the way.
Oh well, sorry. I tell you, I've shot air rifles when I was a
That's
kid.
not a gun. That's
Does
not a
that
gun.
count?
Don't ever say that again. But when we go to Vegas,
had a
Greg
squirt gun.
Greg has booked a shooting thing.
Oh, wait a minute. Well, I've shot a 12-bore shotgun.
Stop
Does
it.
that
Stop
count?
it.
Stop it.
Just
No.
Stop. You
No?
you sound lame.
What about a 20-bore?
Stop talking.
410.
Anyway, Duke, have you got anything else to talk about with this
I
video game?
like Combat Master, so
You like it? Oh,
I do like it.
Yeah.
Haven't you been hearing me say that I'm enjoying
well,
it?
I know, but it's Combat Masters.
So it's Combat
So,
Master
why-
singular.
What was that thing we ate in the title you used to love?
What?
There was that game you used to like, that
Soup-
first person.
No, not Super
No,
8.
not Super 8, something 8.
Oh,
film.
Section 8.
Section
Section 8.
Section 8,
Yeah,
that's the
Section
truth, baby.
Section
was great.
8.
Everyone
like
loves
that all
Section 8.
over
Why you
again.
hating? No, it's not. That was a third-person space shooter. This is a fucking
Yeah.
first-person.
Well, it's totally different, I guess.
You're so weird.
Section-
But it's a knockoff from another game, you know what I'm saying?
Yes, of course. I
Yeah.
won't dispute that.
So,
Section 8.
All right, so that's Combat Master. Who's next?
I'll
go
go
on.
next,
Yeah,
right?
go for it.
Because what if, right, the listeners wanted to play a game, okay, where you were just like a skeleton, but you wanted to get off with someone, you know, get some sort of relationship going, bit of a snog and all that, you know, jive.
Coffee talk again?
No.
Oh,
And to do that, you had to build the body a bit like Frankenstein. How would that sound for a game?
Well, the lesson of Frankenstein is don't do that. So I would imagine it would go badly.
Well, not necessarily. Not necessarily.
Okay.
So I've
So they're
been
not
playing a
learning the lesson
game
of Frankenstein then.
called Birth.
I'll tell you what. A few weeks ago, you said I haven't played enough weird and shit
I
games,
know,
but you
I
are
know.
making up
I'm
for
He's
it.
doubling down on it now.
Doubling down.
On it.
Birth. So what is birth?
So birth is literally what I
process by
just
which
said.
humans are.
So birth is you're a person who wants to get a life partner, and to do that you have to build them, but you're a skeleton. So
Great.
and
So
to
is this
do
like
it,
a point and click game or like
kind
game
of. So basically, you go out into the town and you find all the body parts by solving puzzles, which are really quite
It's
cool.
kind of like Professor Layton-esque.
It is. Do you know what? This game, it doesn't take very long. Apparently, it takes up to about 2 hours to finish.
2 hours too long.
Now, what
Right.
I'm looking at is like a MS Paint simulator thing. How does this have to do with
No,
breaking
it's
a
just
lover
one of
out
the. It's one of the
bones?
puzzles.
It's one of the puzzles.
You have
It's
to
one of
paint
the
something
puzzles.
as to get
Well,
body
you've
parts?
got to figure it out, and when you figure it out, then you get given a body part. But what tends to happen is so there's all different sections of the game. So you're like in a laundromat or a bakery or whatever. And then within each section, there's probably about 5 or 6 puzzles. And once you solve all the puzzles, you get the next body part, and then it adds it to your, list of shit. So you have like a little inventory, and you collect all your stuff.
Wow.
And it's very good. I think this is a
it?
really cute little game.
It's well drawn. So if you for people, the audio listeners, Goog in the chat says hello, by the way. For the audio listeners, it's kind of like a Professor Layton. You're clicking around, you're getting different scenes. You go on a little high street, then you click in the shop, and then everybody's got this sort of weird horse face skeleton sort of look. So it's a mix between Professor Layton and Tim Burton, maybe.
Yeah, kind of. It's a bit weird.
It's a bit weird.
It's a bit weird.
And now you're arranging utensils on some hooks. So that's when you wanted weird Stu playing games back. This is what you got. Fucking this shit.
Yes, it is.
To be fair, some of the puzzles are quite simplistic. Some of them are. I think it starts off with something easy to do, and then obviously, gradually gets more
A
complex.
slow, gradual progression on
Yeah,
difficulty.
yeah,
Whatever next.
I know, it's really well done. I think this is a great little game.
Well,
I'm rather impressed with
you're
this.
rather impressed. How did you come across this game?
It was on Rock Paper Shotgun, and it's
Okay.
like, do you want a weird puzzler? That's kind of fun to play.
Hell
He's got a
no.
Google alert for weird and shit games. And
What's kind of nice, right? On the Steam reviews, everyone's like, please don't refund the game once you finish it just because it's within the time limit to do that. You know what I mean?
Well, that would be a bogus thing to do.
People do it, though.
You
but
should
they
refund it because it looks weird and shit, but
Yes.
not because you already finished
No,
it.
I
Well,
won't
some-
do that. I'll refund it because it's crap.
It isn't crap at all. It's a very
It
good
isn't,
little
Chinny.
game. It
Isn't.
Uh,
It's got puzzles in it.
But people do that because they're horrible. People
It's
are
got
horrible.
puzzles in it.
It's not hugely expensive. It was about £8, I think it was.
Fucking hell.
£8.
I could have a Big Mac for that.
Well, you could, I guess.
I could have
instead.
2.
But it's about the same length as a decent film.
It's about the same length as a Big Mac
about
as
the
well.
same cost as that. Maybe slightly more expensive.
Jesus.
I do feel like, as cool as it is, it could have maybe been slightly cheaper.
£8 for this is a bit bloody steep.
I would pay £8 for this shit.
I'd have thought
How long did it
6,
take you to beat it?
2 hours.
Well, it's about 2 hours, 2.5 hours. Well, it depends how quick
Steep.
you are.
Steep. It's a effing vertical.
It depends how quick you are at solving puzzles, I guess.
Well, I'm awesome, so it would be 20 minutes for me.
Yeah.
Sure it was.
Yeah, I'm so like elite,
I'm
yeah,
so good
puzzles,
at
yeah,
just
like
fucking
I will
just
like
piss
completely
puzzles.
like 10 seconds, yeah, fam, like
Yeah,
whatever,
like,
like bam.
the witness took me like 15 minutes.
Yo, don't even test me. I went
Yeah,
on
fucking
Mastermind, yeah.
Witness.
They didn't even give me a chair. Mans was there so quick. Pa!
I'm not saying I'm brilliant, right? But like I know every snooker winner from like.
Yeah, let's see how long it
yeah,
takes
going
you to
back
fit,
like,
like
1903,
realistically.
right?
No, there
Realistically.
wasn't a tournament, no.
Let's see how long it takes you to finish the witness. Just saying.
Witness the
I'm joking.
fitness.
Jesus Christ! I'm saying a little offhand
Witness
comment, and suddenly
the
it's the most
fitness.
offensive thing Stewart's has ever
Witness
heard.
the fitness. Yeah, it is very offensive. He's
Right,
That's how
moving
fans
on.
have.
Talking more about birth.
Ego.
That's how fans
Ego.
have. You're better than
Uh,
fans have.
I think it's pretty cool. I think it's quite
Put a
inventive.
call as a fan have. You're triggering me. I'm unsubscribing from this drama.
I just
Thought y'all
I
were
feel like
military
they did,
veterans.
they did a
Well,
really
yeah, that guy's lung
Oh,
fucked off now.
I
These-
feel like they
these
did a
guys are not
really-
veterans.
He's like, fuck these. I've never been in
Yeah.
these. Been
Anybody
near
that
an
says
army.
a fan have is not a veteran.
But yeah, it's good. Give it a go.
It looks
Yeah.
shit, Stu. Well done.
It doesn't look shit
It
at all.
does. It does.
How many people played Professor Layton? Just saying.
Loads of them, because that was
Exactly.
good.
Yeah, but this doesn't really look like Professor Layton. I never
No,
played
this
it.
this looks like Professor
It's
Layton
a
if they were
nice-
dead.
Well, that is true, but it's a nice little
It's like
puzzle
Professor
game.
Layton if it
Professor
was
Layton has
drawn
like
by a
this charming-
And it's got a
14-year-old.
nice,
like a
charming
char-
story.
this
You
isn't
know,
charming.
this person's trying to build.
No,
this-
Well, look, it could be a nice charming story,
Partner,
but that's not what
life
Chinny said.
partner.
What Chinny said is it looks like shit,
and
it
the
kinda
puzzles
looks,
are good.
The
puzzles
graphics are
good.
rough. The graphics are
The
rough.
graphics
that's all.
are not rough.
Well,
Rough.
they look rough to me.
They do not look rough. That is
Subjective.
not fair.
They look rough to me.
They don't look rough at all. It's a nice
They don't
hand-drawn
look rough to
game.
you.
Yeah.
And you
do
have
not just
no
like the graphics on this.
appreciation.
You will
You
not
think this
like.
is awesome,
art.
dude, and you're gonna love it when you
You
play
do
it.
not
I'm
think this is
playing
bad.
it. You will
Appreciation
play it.
of art.
Kick
You
your
can just
ass.
fuck you.
You
You're
can
a
say I don't have an appreciation for art. That
horrible
doesn't mean I'm wrong
person.
with my opinion.
It looks cool. It's well
Okay.
done. You
Okay.
are wrong.
Okay,
Just saying.
fine.
I'm glad we.
Glad you like it. I really am.
Anyway, Chinny, how was Warzone?
Well, bloody Warzone. Bloody
This is-
Warzone.
this
and-
Is
is
there really
Warzone.
anything new to say about it?
Well, I haven't played it for ages. I haven't
Yeah,
played
well, you
Warzone
shit.
for a long time. Well, we did a stint. I played it with Matt, and we did a stint of shipment. There's like a shipment 24/7. A lot of bollocks. Tell you what, came second in that. Still fucking got it, haven't I? Still fucking got it.
Still got it.
So yeah, that's fine. And then we did the other map, the smaller map. I don't know. People that play Warzone will know what I'm talking about. But it's the smaller map. Fucking whatever. And we played that. And you talk about, Duke, like the update, the time it gets to go, how long it takes to get in, all this
Yes.
stuff. Jesus Christ, it's just constant.
It's ridiculous. Yeah.
Sorry.
And
I'm
what
trying
are
to
you
get-
getting for that update either? Like that's the thing. If when they did an update, it was like, "Ooh, here's this new stuff," that would be great. It's not. It's like,
Yeah.
here's an update, and then like, I don't know why you did that update.
Matt says, "Oh, do you want to play Call of Duty?" I was like, "I haven't played for ages. I don't even know if it's updated." I'll check. 50 gig update straight away. 50 gig update. All right, okay, fine. Download that. And we play Shipment. Still got it. Second on the list. Don't like to brag about it. Don't like to talk about it, but still got it. And then we played the smaller map on Warzone, which I don't remember what it is, but it's the game mode where as long as somebody on your team is alive, you can keep spawning in. So that sort of, and it's a smaller map as well, so it sort of creates very action packed. Do you know what I mean? As soon as you land, you're probably going to land next to someone. If you die, you're not completely out. There's a chance, gives you a fight chance. That's cool. So I like that. But it's just, you download the game, you start it up, and if you haven't started it for a while, you've got to acknowledge these like rights and accept. Then you got to watch like a 10-minute cutscene,
Terms
which
of service.
you
Yeah,
gotta-
and
which
you can't skip it.
you can't skip the 10 minutes cutscene. It's some woman breaking out of prison, and I'm like, I have no idea who any of these characters are. I have no
That's
idea.
the thing. They probably have like a continuing story.
Oh,
that
yeah,
some
yeah, they
people are
do.
like- and they think you're gonna be like, dude,
Fuck,
I want to
it's
see what
her.
happens next.
I got the
Nobody gives a fucking shit.
I got the impression that this woman that broke out of prison, like, oh, is she some sort of character I should know, or like has come back? I don't know.
Yes.
And then
Like
that-
anybody fucking gives a shit.
it was a good scene. Like, it looked nice. Anyway, that happens, and then you It goes battle pass. Do you want it to auto? Do you want this? This is how this works. Sign in. I'm like, okay. I just get me to the fucking thing.
Do you know it's overwhelming when you're old? Stuff like that.
Anyway, we got there. We played it.
Let's be
It's fine.
honest, Ginny is getting old these days.
I
He's
am.
not,
You know
he's
what
not
I
as young
do?
as he used to be.
You know what I think I've got, by the way. No.
What, dementia?
I think. Well, I'm getting there with that. I think I've got some sort of arthritis in my left finger.
Really?
Yeah.
Is it not just repetitive strain injury from? Like,
No, because I get
playing
it. I
video
get
games
it
all
when
your
I
life?
wake up in the morning. It's from inactivity.
Oh.
And then when I wake up, I'm like, God, this hurts. And then I move it, and it's fine. So I don't think about it for the rest of the day. But if it doesn't move for a while, I'm like, oh my God, I am getting old now. I am getting old. So, yes. But I tell you what, second on the list on shipment, still got those reactions, boy.
Got it, even though you're an
Still
old
got
fart
it.
these days.
So,
Shipment is the truth, baby.
Yeah, shipment is live. So, it's still Warzone. It's just very, very frustrating how much bollocks you have to go through on these games. Warzone.
Warzone. Yes, Duke. It's back to you, I guess.
Me. So Assassin's Creed Origins is a game that I am enjoying.
Yes.
Speaking of the truth, dual swords, baby.
Give us the truth.
Yes.
Duke. Give us the
This is
truth.
what's up. I realize that
Preach.
trying to block and pivot and dash out of the way. Screw all that. I got two swords. I'm just
Yeah.
and it's working.
Yeah.
I'm doing great.
Yeah.
It's a combination that's really working for me. So
Good.
yeah.
Good.
And I got the secret blade in your arm, and I was like, they have a cutscene and show you putting it on.
Hey, there's the blade that goes on your wrist. You might have heard of it. Wink, wink. Nudge, nudge.
I ain't gonna need that shit because I got two swords.
This is the
I ain't
origins,
trying to
though.
be
This is the
stealthy
start of the
Yeah,
Assassins.
it's the beginning of the whole thing.
But even though Odyssey was set before it, which is really weird.
Well, what are you gonna do? So it's fun. The biggest problem I've had this week with Origins is, I don't know. I feel like in previous games, chasing people was less of a problem.
Yeah.
I've had two quests now where, one of them was like, oh, this girl in her farm being tormented by these people. You go, you kill all the people, and then she's like, this man sent them. He's evil. Go kill him. And I'm like, all right, I'll do that.
Cool.
Because, you told me to. Yeah, why not? So I go.
I'll just take your word that he's evil.
Why not? And so I get to where he is, and he's like, ah! And he goes running away, and his bodyguards are running with him, and I'm like, well, some bodyguards.
Yeah.
But I kill the bodyguards, and then I'm running after him. I must have run after him for like 5 minutes, literally. And just to give you
Was
an
he just
idea,
like, just kill me, it's fine, don't worry about it.
I'm
It's fine.
like, you know what? Maybe I just let him go. I just don't go back to that girl's farm again. But here's 1 minute. Let's just wait for 1 minute to pass so people have an idea of how long.
No, that was only about 15 seconds.
I know, and it was
Right,
torture.
imagine how long
It
5
was.
minutes would be. Yeah. So anyway, the point is, it's ridiculous, and there needs to be something. And I was like getting my bow and arrow, and like but you running and you aiming. No, it's not going to work unless the time slows down, which it doesn't. Not for me anyway. Maybe
There is an unlock for that, I think.
Yeah, well, I don't have time for unlocks.
Well, it would save you time,
I
wouldn't it? 'Cause
I
it's
haven't
not-
unlocked it yet, so I should.
Is this the game where you've got like random, like really strong guys wandering around the map, and then they see you and they go,
I got a notification about that. They're like, Gremblings are on their way, or they're nearby, and I was like, what is? And there's like this red frowny face on
That's
the map,
right,
and I'm like,
yeah.
oh shit, I don't know what that is, and I'm not
Yeah.
gonna go find out.
Yeah, red means I don't want to fuck with that. And if it's moving
Well, yeah,
towards you,
exactly.
I'm scared.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, and they were in between me and this dude where I was supposed to go get him, so I was like, well, I'm gonna take the long way around, I
Yeah.
guess. Let's go
No,
see
I
what's
think
happening.
they're not as scary as you might think.
Well,
you know.
I hope not, but I haven't found out yet. So maybe by next week I'll have something to report on the Greblix.
Yes.
Blip,
Do you like the hawk?
The hawk is cool. I don't know. There's a part of me that's like, I don't know if it's a little too easy for just send up the hawk and it's like, there he is. Like part of me thinks I should have to go sneaking around and like figuring out where I need to go. That, and if it's like there's a secret papyrus in this building, you just send up the hawk and go, yeah, it's right there.
Yeah.
It's like, wait a minute.
It's a fucking
I
hawk.
thought I should... It's a hawk with X-ray vision.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's a little silly, but whatever. Yeah, I like it. It
great.
takes the guesswork.
It's
out of it.
basically Ubisoft's formula of send something high, a drone or a hawk, spot everything, go in and kill it all.
Right. Yeah.
That's
Well,
fun.
they didn't do that on Phoenix Immortals, so that's you do have a phoenix, like an actual bird with you, who
Right.
does that somewhat.
So they
like
did
that, but mostly
exactly
it's-
that. That thing that you said they don't do.
It's not.
They
It's
exactly
not
do.
observational. It's not observational. It's
It's
just
not
an attack.
observational.
It is. You said it was the observational thing that they do in every game when they don't.
What does it do then, the Phoenix?
You just call it and it'll attack for you.
Oh, right, okay.
It's just a companion that
Yeah,
also
yeah. All
fights.
right, yeah.
So. Anyway, Assassin's Creed Origins, a lot of fun. Not exactly scratching the itch that I had for looking for an MMO, but we'll come back to that later. Yeah, it's crazy.
Ooh.
Stu?
Yeah.
Stu,
Yes.
What you got? You're up.
I'm up next. I'm going to talk about a game that's not a game.
Oh, shit.
Ooh, oh, so we're back to birth again?
No, I'm talking about a
The
game
Complex.
called The Complex, which is
Ah.
by a fucking
the
Welsh
Complex?
Studio Interactive or whatever they're called.
No
who make-
bloody way.
Who
Is
make
this another
all-
FMV game?
Yeah, make all these FMV games. I picked it up really cheap in a sale at one time, and I was like, "Oh, I never played that game." Stroke movie. Maybe I should give it a go.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's got 10 different endings, by the way,
Oh,
which I think
no.
is pretty impressive. It's got 10 endings.
Okay, you know what? I'm sorry. I'm trying not to be so much of a hater these days.
Don't be
but
a
it's
hater,
like,
dude.
Don't be a
It's not-
hater,
I'm
yo.
Yeah,
trying
hater,
really
dude.
hard not to be. In 2012, 10 different endings would be impressive. In 2023, I don't think it's impressive.
I don't
that
think it
has
came
10
out in
endings.
2023, though. That's
The
thing, it's
game
been a
has
while.
graphics.
It has graphics. Well, it has film. I've got to say, it's pretty
Can I
slick.
can I describe what I'm seeing on the screen?
You can describe what
So the opening scene is a lady in sort of like a hazmat suit thing in
2020.
a sort of quarantine tent. There are two
Yeah,
people on
yeah.
a bed. She goes to inject one of them, and she says,
guess what your decision is here.
you,
at
you,
this point,
you, there's
Jimmy.
two people that are kind of freaking out and dying,
Yeah.
and she goes to inject one of them. She goes, "You are the supreme leader," and she's like, "No, I just want to save your baby." "No, you're with the supreme leader. You want to kill my baby." She knocks the injection out of her hand, and then she starts like, uncontrollably like twitching, and the other person in the other bed is uncontrollably twitching, and
Now,
the
can I
woman
just say, this
looks
didn't
very.
happen.
He's got a heartbreaking decision
Annoyed.
to make about whether his best
didn't-
friend lives or dies.
This didn't happen for me. I got to choose who I gave the injection to. And
Oh, it's
she
one of the
was-
endings.
Yeah, and she was like, "No, that's fine. You stick it in me."
Oh right.
So I don't know
That's
what
she said.
I don't know what this player did to stop that from happening.
Dunno.
Well, they fucked it all up, is why.
But I've only seen, by the way, it gives you all the stats. I've only seen 86 scenes out of a possible 190 something. So I've seen less than the total number of scenes in the game, which I think is pretty impressive.
But do you feel compelled to play it again?
Yes, because I got a terrible ending. I did a
Okay.
really crap job of it all, and it all ended really badly. Can
Did
I
you have
just say.
fun playing this game?
I enjoyed it actually. The actors in the game are pretty good. The main
Are they
woman-
though?
They are actually. The main woman here, she's been in a Canadian TV show.
That's
So
not
she's
She's in a
saying much.
Canadian TV show, Jimmy.
Well,
They don't let just anybody on Canadian.
I reckon I could
No,
go
but at
on
least-
Canadian
Granted,
TV.
they
She's
let
been
Moose on
in a
there, and they
series
have
or
a
whatever.
badger on one show.
Yeah.
But
Welcome
she's
to the
been-
Badger Talk Show.
Stop it! I have a question. I have an
Go.
actual question. When
Go.
it's time, so when you make decisions, presumably, yes.
Yeah.
When it's time to make a decision, does
Yeah.
it come up like, do you want to do X or do you want to do Y, or is it like you have to push a button at the right time?
No,
Is it
it's
like-
all. Do you want to do X or Y? And
So it's
a
not
timer.
Dragon Slayer style.
No, God, no. It's a timer. And it does a pretty good
gotcha.
job of slickly editing it, so it feels like
Alright.
the film's continued on. You can tell there's a pause, a
Yeah.
slight pause once you made your decision.
Right. Well,
but
it's
it-
very
it-
hard to do that in a way that.
Yeah,
I mean, I
exactly.
think that the best games like this would be. I mean, because it's in the. We're looking at a scene where they're in a boardroom or something.
Yeah.
It's weird to have someone say, "So, are we going to fund Project A or Project B?" And then the game just pauses. And what is everyone
Well, it
doing in that
doesn't.
moment? You know what I mean?
It
I
doesn't
know.
pause at
Right.
all.
No,
It just
yeah,
gives
but the
you a
world
timer and
pauses.
you've got
But
to
what
make-
I quite like
The
is
world
that
pauses,
I might
right. So what I'm
do
saying-
that
hang on,
in
let me
real
finish my
life.
point. No, I want to to finish my point. I think the best way to do it would be you finish the board meeting and then you get an email that says, "Hey, should we do project A or project B?" You know what I mean? So that if the world pauses or like you would be in a situation where no one's bothering you. Realistically, it would be diegetic.
Yeah, but I mean, in this game, it gets around that by giving you a timer to make your decision, and then by the time you make your decision, obviously it just carries on like nothing happened.
Right. I'm just saying that time, that 10 seconds, like nobody's in a board meeting just sitting there for 10 seconds while you think.
And that it doesn't do that.
But whatever, it's not a big deal. Sorry, Chinny, what were you saying?
I said, wouldn't it be funny if I started doing that in real life, where I'd give somebody a choice. And then wait there for like ages, like 5 minutes before I like.
Who should go next?
What's kind of cool is.
Okay.
Who should go next?
Yeah, let's just ignore that. The premise is pretty cool because you end up stuck in a lab with obviously some contagious disease type jive, and there's all this, political conspiracy shit going on. And
Stu, I have to say, I'm watching this video of this game. Yeah. And I can tell that these are bad actors. Like from watching
honestly, the voice acting was pretty good.
They're overacting.
What makes you say that, Chinny? What makes you say that?
They're overacted. They're in a boardroom and they're going, like that. Like who does?
Well, of course.
Like, they just like nodding like that.
It's hard to judge someone's acting if you can't hear what they're saying.
No,
I'm
true.
judging it.
Duke. Thank you, dude.
You're welcome.
And this woman on the train who's like sweating. First of all, that's not weird that you see somebody sweating on a train. Like that's just normal.
No, it isn't. Have you ever been on the London Underground?
Yeah.
It's fucking boiling.
So. But she's, I don't know, it just looks very Sky drama.
Do you know what, though? It's not terrible.
Oh, I wanted that thing to say, and this thing goes up the ass, but no, it's
it does. By the way, it does go up the ass.
No.
The biggest gripe I have with it, right, is the special effects aren't great. For instance, towards the end, there's a shootout scene.
Yes.
And somebody gets shot, and they've got like laid over computer graphics of like a puff of red where they've been shot.
Yeah.
And quite clearly, just like a drawn on red dot.
Yeah.
Where they're supposed to be
special.
It's not. It wasn't great.
Let's see if I can skip to it.
Well, it depends what ending you get, so you might not even get.
You probably won't be able to find. Oh, this lady just flipped someone off on the subway.
Because she's filming her.
She was filming her.
Yeah.
So what?
So that's probably
if I'm filming you on the subway, you better not flip me off because that means I'm going to get struck from YouTube.
One of the minor gripes I've got is that. And there was another shot. There was a bit where this woman's in an isolation tank thing, right? And she's obviously got this disease.
Oh,
is it this woman here? The Asian woman.
No, can you see her eyes are like bright red?
Yeah, they're very red.
Well, in about 2 scenes later, it's no longer red. Look, it is at this point. But a few scenes later, it's no longer red anymore.
Yeah.
And I'm like, well, why was it red then, and now it's not red anymore now?
Yeah.
What is going on?
Because the virus is sucking out all the blood from her.
Oh yeah, you're right. No, you're right. Yeah, she's laying in this chamber thing, and her eyes was really red, and then they wasn't.
And then it wasn't. Then it wasn't.
Well, maybe
anymore.
when you wasn't looking, when the camera wasn't on her, she just went.
But
she dropped some Visine into her eyes.
Yeah.
I don't mind a continuity error, but when it's that blatant, it looks that bad.
The acting's so bad.
Yeah, it's a different actor. That would be a good continuity.
Yeah, that would have been better.
Yeah.
What happened?
We only had her for a day.
Yeah.
But overall, the story's got some tension.
Some big Russian dude. I am Asian woman.
I am Asian woman. I am very sick.
Yeah. But yeah, special effects wise, could have been better. Could have been better. But you don't. I think what I'd say is right, and this is the best way to describe it.
Shit.
I wasn't expecting a lot. But what I got was slightly better than that. So you can't.
So you
Jesus
see,
Christ.
The problem, Chinny, is that your standards are too high.
Yeah, exactly. You've got to judge these games.
You got to understand it's a shitty game, but it's a little less shitty than you think it's going to be.
Exactly. That is.
Listen to yourself, Stuart. For God's sake.
And I'm going to play it again because I want to get a different ending. I'm going to see what else I can. Because you can be a.
Let's see what other horrible special effects problems there are in this game.
You can be a total bitch as well and sort of make really bad decisions.
I can be a total bitch any game
like
I play.
Horrible.
Assassin's Creed Origins. Listen, honey, your family got killed by that dude. I'm gonna go kill him, but you just have to deal with the fact that your family's dead.
Well, then I don't know. I don't know how you get
being
the
a total
best
bitch in
ending.
Assassin's Creed Origins.
Because my ending was terrible. I mean, it was truly shockingly bad. You know, when you're like, wow, that like
Why?
Not good.
What happened? Did they just like point at you and
No,
like filmed you and went, haha, you bought this?
No, everybody got killed. Like everyone died at the end.
That seems like quite a good ending.
No, it was a terrible
Yeah,
ending.
why not?
Everyone died. So yeah, it wasn't good.
Cool.
But the game I thought was pretty good. And I'll bet you it's probably about £1 on Steam at the moment. I bet it's very cheap.
Yeah.
So there you go. I think it's worth a punt for a couple of quid.
I do not.
There you go. I think it's fine. It's no look. Trust me, it's no shape changing detective.
It's not the price these days, Stu. It's the time.
Yeah, but this only takes an hour to play.
Really
Exactly. That's too long.
Yeah, it's an hour. You could be
not
playing
too
Rocket League or
long.
something.
An hour? That's
Like
like
hour and a quarter. It's like literally the size of a movie.
no. I can't waste an hour.
It's like
of
it's
my
3
life doing
games a
this.
snap.
10 quid, right?
No.
And it's obviously on sale all the
If
time.
it was
so
10
you-
minutes long, maybe.
Then it wouldn't really be. Should this person live or die? Die. The end.
Does he
That was a
live
great game.
or die?
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I thought it was all right. I didn't mind it.
Okay. Well, I'm glad you didn't mind it.
I didn't mind it. Like I say, it was less shit than
Put
I
it on the
expected.
box.
Less shit than I expected.
Stu didn't mind it. He
I played
didn't
a few of
mind
these though, haven't I?
that
Because
it
I played,
exists.
like-
Yes, you have, and
I
that's
played the
amazing. that you-
Bunker,
I mean,
and
it's
that
a
was pretty
thing.
good.
Yeah, that's why these keep getting made. It's because people like you show up,
Yeah,
play.
like-
and go,
Somebody,
"Oh,
somebody in the
nice
north of
freaking-"
England keeps buying this game. I don't know.
Late Shift is pretty good.
He's 80% of our market share.
Late Shift
This
is
one
pretty
guy.
good. But this is the kind of game you can play with your girlfriend or like boyfriend who doesn't game because it's not a game. You just have to choose an option. They used to go.
God damn it! If I sat down with the
I think you
Duchess
should
and
do
said,
that.
"Let's play this," you'd go, "I'm not playing this." I'm
No,
gonna go,
I'll
I think
just
you
watch a
should do
TV
it.
show.
I'm gonna go
We
deal with
should
a
do it.
prolapsed goat. Like,
Yeah.
Yeah, but you don't get to make choices in a TV unless you play that thing on Netflix, that whatever his
yeah,
name
exactly.
is.
Bandersnatch, baby.
Bandersnatch.
And at least that has good actors.
Uh,
They're not
It
bad
does.
actors.
It does have very good actors.
uh,
Okay, we're moving on from the complex. It sounds awful.
Right.
Stu, you're
So
done.
it's brilliant. It's
I'm
brilliant.
glad you like it. I really am.
It's a great game.
So as I said, I don't know why this happens. I just get this yearning for like I want to play an MMO, and it's stupid because the complaints I always have about MMOs are universal. They're evergreen, but yeah. So whatever. Path of Exile showed up in my brain, and I started playing this again. Have y'all ever played Path of Exile?
No.
No inclination
free-to-play
to
game.
play.
It is the universally most celebrated free action combat RPG ever made.
Cool.
People
Cool.
on Reddit cannot get enough of this game. Every time someone comes along and says, if you say anything about like, I want an RPG or I'd like to play a combat game, it's like instantly the people will come swarming in. Oh, you should play Path of Exile. Path of Exile is a game you ought to play.
Path
It's
of
a
Exile.
total Diablo. It's a total Diablo ripoff, even down to the red and blue balls on the sides of the
It
screen
looks
for
like
your health
Diablo,
and your
yeah.
mana. That's exactly it is Diablo.
Right.
But it's free.
Aha.
And yeah, it's very well made. I think I don't really know why I stopped playing it this is my third time trying to get into this game, and I don't really know why I
that's
stopped the first time.
Bit of a red flag for me there, Duke. It's your third
I know,
time.
and I don't blame you. Whatever. Like, it's very well made, and I'm having more fun with it this time than I did the last time I tried.
Why?
I don't know. I think it's because I was feeling very impatient the last time I tried it. I can't speak for the first time, but the last time I tried it, I was like, I kind of got the feeling like, okay, the process is always the same here. You spawn into the level, you go looking for a thing, and then, you find it, and then that's it. And you bring it back to town or whatever it is. But it's actually, the stories are kind of decent. They're not great because it does end up being just go here, kill this thing, come back, and you'll get a reward. But, for instance, there's this one quest where you find this sea captain, or he's like a ghost of a sea captain. And he's like, I took this girl in, and they do a good job of like telling a little story with just some scrolling text, and there's a voiceover too. And you can make the scrolling go faster, so you don't have to sit there listening to the whole thing. Because I'm always so impatient. I'm like, can we just speed this up, Pops? But he was like, I took this girl in, and I showed her how to, work on the ship, and I treated her like my daughter. And then she took the All Flame and vanished. And I think she's probably dead. But could you go find the All Flame? And you're like, what the fuck's the All Flame? But anyway, I found the All Flame, brought it back, and the guy's like, excellent. Now, in order to feed the all flame, we need blood. Yours. Sorry. And he turns into this monster. He starts attacking you. I'm like, holy shit. I thought I was just bringing you something you wanted back. And you turned into a monster.
So it's kind of like The Witcher, where like the side quests, they're a little bit random, or you don't know what you're going to get.
They're a little bit random, a little bit crazy, yeah. And they're kind of interesting. So that's the thing that is hooking me this time, is that the stories are kind of interesting and the combat's solid. Like that's the other thing, is that like I thought of it last time as just like whatever, better loot, and that is a thing. But I also have started to get an appreciation for all the abilities that the game has, because it's so much depth. If you were to see the skill tree, a lot of games will have like, whatever.
3 different paths.
Exactly. This game has like 100 paths, and I'm not kidding about that.
Wow.
It's insane. Like the tree, you start off here and you zoom out and you just keep zooming out. It's this enormous branching thing with all these different things you can, unlock and stuff. So, part of the reason that people like it is because it's so deep and complex. That's kind of the reason I'm annoyed by it. It's because it's so deep and complex. But on the other hand, I've got gear that keeps feeding me health and mana, so I don't even have to use my potions to regenerate my health and mana, because my gear is doing that for me all the time.
So what does the game have to do? Because you're saying it's too deep. What does the game have to do? Because to make you happy, because it sounds like it's doing all the things. Like, why are you not happy, Duke?
Right. So the reason I'm not saying I'm not happy now. I'm just saying the last time I tried it, I got bored with it, and I don't really know exactly why. So much as I am like, I'm not bored with it this time. So I'm having a good time with it. It's well made. It's free. The price is right. I will say that they added, because they're always adding things. So they added this thing called the Crucible, and it was like, play with this league.
Oh, the Crucible. Like, that's where the snooker's being played at the Sheffield. That's the name of the theatre. The Crucible.
It must be a reference to that. Yeah.
Since 1977, they played at the Crucible.
There you go. Hey. So anyway, they're like, play on this league, and I'm like, league? What are you talking about, league? I don't know. It's basically like a version of the game. So I was like, all right, I'll try that out. It's going to be different than the last time I played it. And the whole game's the same. You start off on this beach. You go to this town. They're like, everything is dark and grim and horrible, but maybe you can help us out. And then I went to like the second location, and there's a Crucible. And it's like, you hold a button down, and it will spawn special monsters.
Right.
And then you kill those special monsters, you get a super special piece of gear or whatever. So I was like, all right, fine. And I held it down, and I was like, I didn't really know what it was doing, but eventually I realized, oh, it's filling up. It starts off as like, scary, and then it goes to rough, and then it goes to brutal, and then it goes to nightmare. And I was like, oh no, it's at brutal. I don't want to do, maybe if I keep holding it, it'll loop back around. Nope, it just gets to nightmare and it stands there. And I was like, shit. So I let it go, and then there's like 100 monsters and I'm dead in a second. I was like, God damn it. So I don't quite know how the Crucible thing works, because I was like, fuck this shit. And I started over on the regular game mode. So maybe next time I play,
well, basically, you have to get a snooker cue.
Yeah,
right?
I guess so.
You get good at snooker.
Get good.
Well, that's never going to happen.
Yeah. You need to be getting regularly, probably 60, 70 plus breaks.
Pretty much.
Ideally over 100 at some point. You know what I mean?
Yeah, easy.
And then once you're at that level, you can play in the Crucible.
So Path of Exile is a good game. I will say that, as with Diablo and Borderlands and other games like this, you could drop the loot amount by like 30% and the game would be better, because this really is the type of thing where you have to stop after every battle and be like, okay, so this sword has, +7 damage, but this other one has lightning on it, so which is better, and whatever. But I'm loving it. It's great. Path of Exile is a lot of fun. And here's the best thing about it. Unlike MMOs, when I killed that monster who had the all-fire, he's dead. And then I went back to town, and they're like, wait, you saw the ghostly captain? Like, oh, nobody's ever lived to tell the tale. Well, we appreciate you taking care of him. Here's this special cloak or whatever. And because that's the problem with MMOs. In an MMO, you kill the ghostly captain, and then 5 seconds later, someone's like, can you help us deal with this ghostly captain? Like, motherfucker, I just killed him. God damn it. So
yeah, that's why I can't get on with those MMOs, because it just doesn't feel like a coherent world, even though it sort of is. You know what I mean? Like, that's the selling point. It's like, oh, it's a real world where things are happening. And I'm like, but it's not, because it keeps bloody respawning. So that doesn't grab me at all. There's no sense of like progression. I know there is in terms of like like leveling up and all that sort of stuff. But
Yeah,
progression
but no,
in the
exactly.
world, you're not making a difference to the world, and that's
Right,
weird.
exactly. And they can't have that if there's a shared world unless they want to have like 7 people in the game or whatever. But yeah,
You know,
So
I
this is
always
good.
like a game where I can feel that I'm more powerful, or
Oh, yeah.
I can see that I've
You
made a
have an
difference.
impact on
Yeah,
things.
yeah.
Right,
Look, I didn't really like the game that much. Like, remember the Saboteur? Where it was like a black and white game, and you liberate
yeah.
every time you
You're taking down the
liberated the
Nazis.
game, it added color to the area. Such a clever idea.
It is a great idea.
But I mean, the problem is when it was in color, it didn't look very good. When it was in black and white, it looked a lot better. But yeah, I just thought, just like the fact that you can drive around. Oh, I've made a difference. I've actually like impacted this world.
Yeah,
You've made like in Fallout, like you walk around and you've built a home for yourself. You've built like a bit of a
Made this
a
little
base,
village for
but
other people and
also
stuff, yeah.
you walk around and nothing really touches you anymore because you've got like the gear for it and you feel super powerful.
Right,
So like it feels
right,
like you've
right.
progressed in this world.
Yeah.
And
I
MMOs
remember
just never feel like that.
GTA San Andreas had the gang mode where you would take
Yeah,
over
yeah,
part of the
yeah,
city.
that's
That
it.
was awesome. They
Yeah.
didn't make a game that's like that. Like, yeah, a whole game just like that.
Mm.
So anyway, yeah, that's Path of Exile. It's fun. A
Cool.
lot of loot to deal with. So I've gotten to the point where I'm only picking up stuff that's yellow because the regular stuff's gray and then the somewhat rare stuff is purple.
I
and
thought
the
you
most
meant in
rare
real
stuff is
life then. I
yellow.
went, what a weird
Yeah,
life
this
you
is
lead.
Only this Fallout 3 figure, I'll pick it up because
Yeah.
it's yellow.
I'll have a
It's
banana, but
all-
I ain't eating nothing else.
No oranges.
Yeah. Cool.
All right, what else you got, Stu?
Right, I have got. Right, let's talk about a good game. Okay, because I've talked
Great,
about
I would
some
love
weird
to.
stuff.
What
And all
do you
that.
got?
Coffee talk, right? I've been
Yeah,
playing.
you try. See, here's the
Coffee
thing.
talk.
You said a thing, and then you did a thing that was
Coffee
different from
talk.
what you said. Yeah,
Coffee
not
talk.
good.
Do you know what? Actually,
to go to coffee talk.
I want to date an elk.
Coffee talk. In reality, dude, you are wrong. In fact, because this game actually is very good. It's well written. It deals with social issues we have in our real lives, but just portrays them in a different way. And it does a very good job of it. There's a lot of reading, you know what I mean? But what is written is well written. The conversations flow. And basically, the only game mechanic is just making coffee or tea
Making
or
fucking
chocolate.
coffee.
Coffee. And I think it does a really brilliant job of portraying, like, say, real life social issues in a different format that makes them more accessible. And I think I've got to applaud it for that. I think it just does such an absolute brilliant job of just telling stories of people's real lives.
That's cool.
And I think, actually, Duke, if you gave this a chance, you would actually quite like and appreciate what it's trying to do.
I don't know. I've been burned by games like this before.
And
so
it's
I'm just
free on
nervous.
Game Pass, so it's not
Yeah, I
something you'd
know.
have to
It's
pay
not
for.
the money,
to
it's
give
the
it a go.
time. Someone
But-
cool said that to me recently.
I think this is worth your time and your money if you had to pay for it.
Oh, I know you think that.
No, I think you'd be pleasantly surprised. Can I just say?
Maybe.
And it's about a struggling writer, who's trying to get there.
Oh, those are often the worst stories ever.
Terrible. But it isn't just about that. I think it's what's brilliant about this game is the way it introduces these little characters, and they all have this cool backstory, or there's shit going down in their lives, which can be easily relatable to people's real lives. I think it's brilliant. I am more
I'm
than
happy
impressed.
that you are enjoying it, Stu.
I'm more than impressed with this game, and I love how it drip feeds new. And what's kind of
Drip
cool
feeds.
is
I see what you did there.
nobody's horrible, right? Because let's be honest, right? They give you a vague idea of what they want you to make for them for the drink, and if you get it wrong, they just go, "Oh, it's not quite what I was after, but it's fine." And no matter how many times, right, you say, "Oh, well, do you want me to change it for you and do it again?" They're like, "No, it's fine." Everyone's nice.
Very morose and or depressed customers. It's okay.
That's
I'll
like,
drink
but
it.
that's like
Even
Britain,
I have
though,
a
isn't it?
horrible lactose
Yeah.
intolerance. I'll drink. Oh God, my
That's
stomach.
honestly, that's very British. It's like, you've given me something that will kill me if I drink it, but you know what? I don't want to bother you. I don't want to bother you. I'll just drink it. I know it's acid. So yeah, coffee talk.
Yeah. I just think it's really well made. I do genuinely think you're wrong. So
Well, I'm not wrong. It's not the top.
I haven't actually made an opinion. I don't really have an opinion about this. I just like to wind you up.
No, it's fine. I understand where you're coming from, Duke. I do.
I get
know
it.
what
I
you
get
like.
it.
I get what you're doing, but it's brill. I love it. I love like I say, I love the characters. I love the way they introduce them. I love the way every day you get a new ingredient. So you're gonna have to make something new and different. And there's a freaking shit ton of recipes. So fuck knows what else I'll be making before the game's over. And I kind of like the mechanic and the way if you make the drinks right for the person, then it unlocks more options in the social media app on your phone in the game. So you get to know a little bit more about the background and where they work or what they do for a living. And if you don't, then you don't, because they don't like you as much because obviously you got the drink wrong because you were shit at your job as a barista. But it's cool. I think it's a really cool. I'm quite looking forward to seeing where it goes with the ending. Do you get to see the finished book? You know what I mean? What shit's gonna go down at the end? I think the story's pretty solid in this. I think it's great. I just love it. I love the way it's just done.
How many hours are you in?
I don't think I'm that far. Probably about 2, 3, 4. I can't imagine it's a very long game, to be honest. Maybe 2 or 3 hours, I guess. Coffee talk. How long does it take to finish? Let's have a look. How long to beat?
Welcome to motherfucking coffee talk.
How long to beat the fucking coffee? How long to beat? Let's have a look. I don't know. I reckon this is probably about 4 hours, maybe, to beat it. I can't imagine it's that long. I keep thinking I must be getting to near the end. But then another character's introduced, and what's cool is then they tend to link to somebody else who's already been in or who's going to come in at a later point. Or I kind of like it. I like how it's constructed.
Do you have any other things to say about this game that isn't? You like it and you think it's good?
I think everyone should play this game. No,
just play it.
Just like I
And
said,
just
I've got
play
a
it.
lot of stuff. It's structured. It's about 4 hours. I was right, so it's about 4 hours to beat it.
Other than just play it, you like it, it's good, it's well written. Is there anything
It's
else?
well written.
The answer is no. Let's just move on.
Pretty
No,
well
you don't.
done.
Okay.
He's just gonna keep repeating himself if you let him.
Okay, fine.
The dialogue's really, well done.
Okay, you're
Moving
done.
on.
You're done with the
and
game. You
you'd
talk about it
hate
for 3
it.
weeks, we get it.
Final thing is, you'd hate it, Chinny, because you have to read everything.
Correct.
Yeah.
Yes. Okay. All right. Do we have news?
Yes, a little bit.
A little bit of news.
Putting news first.
Not a lot of news, but we've got a little bit of news. This I love this story, right? This is one of my favorite stories ever.
Go on.
So, when you get dressed up for some fancy dress thing, you put on
I'm dressed up now. I'm all
you go
fancy.
to a party, you want to, you want to
my hat.
dress as a character.
Yes.
Cosplay.
So a bit of cosplay. So this is great. So a young man went on the town recently to celebrate his 22nd birthday, and as part of a celebration with his friends, he decided to dress up as Lord of the Rings characters.
Yeah.
Nerd.
So Ben Coyles chose Gandalf, and as it happens, the birthday boys' night out took a turn for the incredible because his friends were dressed as Lord of the Rings, went to the pub in Bristol. As part of that fateful night between pubs, Coyles encountered Ian McKellen.
Oh wow, nice.
In the pub, in one of the pubs he went to, who famously played Gandalf. So he's there wearing his wizard's hat and wielding his staff.
And as soon as Ian McKellen sees him come in, he goes, "Oh, bloody hell! No,
I bet he enjoyed that.
He posed with him for pictures.
Barkeep, where's the emergency exit? I have an emergency. I have to get out of here right now.
And apparently it just went completely mental. In fact, I don't think he was even in a pub. When I'm looking at the TikTok, he was just walking down the street.
I can't imagine Ian McKellen just hanging out in a pub.
No, but he might have been there for a meal.
I think he owns a pub. I think Ian McKellen.
Could be wrong.
But he just happened to be walking down the street, and they filmed it, put it on TikTok, and it just went ballistic.
No, that is great. I hear he's a great guy. I'm sure he's a lot of fun.
That is such a brilliant. Can you imagine such a brilliant story?
Yeah.
Well, yeah. We watched the documentary about George Takei again. Have y'all, George Takei, Mr. Sulu from Star Trek?
No.
Oh yeah.
Really, really interesting dude. He grew up. It was in a Japanese internment camp when he was a kid. He came out in 2005 in order to protest homophobia, and he's just become this hero of gay rights and stuff. He's just had a really interesting life, and it's
Yeah.
That is cool. Here's another cool story. Only in the UK could these things happen.
I think I know what this one's about.
No celebrity who has ever been
UK.
seen by someone dressed up like this.
No, this one.
No, I don't think you do, Chidi. You might have a story I've not got down here.
Go on then.
So a UK insurance
Yep,
company.
this is what I got. This is what I got.
Offering.
Yeah.
A Dead Island 2 themed life insurance package.
Yes.
What?
So basically, it's offering Dead Island 2 life insurance that will pay for your bereaved friends
Yeah.
to travel to Los Angeles for a zombie themed wake. It's just
That's really weird.
Yeah.
Only in the UK could this happen. So send your mates to the real LA for a zombie cocktail fueled party before it goes to hell. Reads the insurance description. A wake to end all wakes in your honour. And it costs £8,000 apparently. So that's how.
So
much it costs
I've got a couple of presents for us both.
Brilliant.
Hey,
Can you imagine?
are you into Stu? Yeah.
I think I'd be up for this.
Because I said to him, my mate Stu, his little ticker's not as good as it used to be.
It's not as good as it used
And
to be. No, it's true.
he said, fuck it, we'll just send him to LA. So we're going. We're going to this zombie thing.
So, I just think that's awesome. So there you
Good.
go.
It's just PR, isn't it? It's just PR,
Yeah,
PR,
it
PR,
is.
PR.
Yeah.
PR.
There's not a lot else. Sony's acquired some AAA multiplayer developer, Firewalk Studios. Don't know. What
Have you heard much about Dead Island?
Apparently the reviews are okay.
I think I've heard okay to good.
Yeah.
Because it's a funny story, isn't it?
Oh, it was in development hell for years.
But like the whole Dead Island Dying Light feud, you got Dead Island, which came out first.
Yeah.
And then Dying Light, and Dying Light was better because it was made by people
but
that
Dying
made
Light
Dead
was by Deep
Yes.
Silver, the same developers as the original
so
Dead Island. But this has been
correct.
found out
But then Dead Island 2 got announced in 2014.
Yeah.
Which is 9 years ago. Vanished. One developer took it. That went crumbled. Another developer took it. And the last game that these guys made was Homefront: The Revolution. Remember that game?
which was
one of your favorite games of all time.
I have a video on the YouTube about this game. But yes, but they apparently it's good. Apparently it's very good and it's fun. What Dead Island 2 failed to do is they had a very serious tone. So it's like, you're kicking zombies' asses all the time. It's a bit of fun. And Dead Island 2, I think, was a little bit too deep, didn't introduce the fun quick enough. And Dead Island 2 has solved that problem. So, from what I hear, Dead Island 2 is fun. Would be fun in co-op.
Oh, I'm sure it would. And I think, and I hate to say
Not
this,
with your
but I
ticker,
think-
though.
Not with my ticker. I think this will go cheap pretty quick.
I think so. Unfortunately, we do live in that kind of world, don't we?
Yeah.
What can you do?
But Techland was originally meant to develop it, which did Carlos Juarez and Carlos Juarez Bound in Blood and the original Dead Island. So it's Techland and Deep Silver was the publisher. So that was who was meant to do it. But then they went, nah, fuck that. We're going to do Dying Light instead. Forget it. And then Jaeger Development was a German video game developer based in Berlin who then took over. So they were doing it for a little bit. And then they went, we don't want to do this anymore. And
This looks hard.
Yeah, it looks hard. And then it was, I can't even remember, Sumo Digital then took over. And then they went, not so much.
This looks really hard.
And then Dam Buster Studios, the final one, based in Nottingham, no less.
Oh, really? Oh, yeah.
Robin Hoodland in England. And they went,
We'll do it. We'll bloody do it.
So it's probably an absolute amazement that this game ever got made, quite honestly.
Probably. Well, I imagine that happens quite a lot, though.
Yeah.
More than you'd think. But anyway, it's pretty good. Any other news?
So are we
no,
not
that's
even
about
going to
it.
talk about the new Dota 2 upheaval?
No, we're not.
I don't know what
New
it is.
Frontiers, hello?
Nah.
No, nobody cares. But if anybody
Don't care
is a
about
fan
Dota.
of
Who
Dota
cares
2 and
about
hasn't been
Dota?
paying attention, if anybody, someone out there might be, shush.
Yeah.
There's a massive new update to the game called New Frontiers. They've changed lots of stuff about the game, including the map. for the first time in like 100 years. So if anybody out there likes Dota 2, I thought about reinstalling it, and then I'm like, you know what? Whenever I play Dota 2, I think this is why I ended up playing Path of Exile. Whenever I play Dota 2, I'm like, you know what? My favorite part of this game is just killing monsters, and I don't need to play Dota 2 for that. Like, it's a very different kind of game than, you know, your average combat RPG. So then I just go, I think I did just say like, Dota 2, yeah, but I don't think I would actually like playing it. What I want to play is like a Diablo game, but ooh, Path of Exile, and then I started that up. That's why I played it. So anyway, but I do have an actual story. First of all, did y'all know that the new Tom Clancy Division game is going to be free to play?
No, but it doesn't shock me.
No,
I hadn't heard about this.
No,
it's called The Division Heartland. It's a third-person shooter. It's free to play. There's 2 game modes: Storm Operations, which is player versus environment, and 45 players. And then the second mode is called Excursion Operations, a PvE mode in which players can complete missions and collect loot and gear. So, yeah, I don't know. I just thought that was interesting. And they're putting a survival twist into the looter-shooter format. I mean, I loved the Division 1 and Division 2. I think those are some of my favorite third-person shooters ever. And I'm curious about this game.
Yeah, yeah, I did like both of those games, but they are vast, and they did lose me a little bit.
Right, and I think it looks like they're trying to scale that back, so I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah, was it Division Heartland? Is this the one that you just said? Yeah, Division Heartland gameplay. Let's have a quick look.
Let's have a look.
Yeah.
Developer deep dive.
Not much to say about it. Just
this video is just a lot of the developers just walking around there, developing Office, going, "Hey."
There's not much to say about it.
Yeah. So.
I think that's all the game and news.
It is.
Now Beyond Blue, the ocean exploration game, is free on Epic Games Store.
Oh, do you know? I should get that because I never played
you're welcome.
Beyond Blue. Thanks. Yeah, thanks for reminding me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Friendly guy. God damn it.
So you've got a choice now, Duke, because there's 2 speak pipes which I've sent you. Right.
So I got to choose between these speak pipes.
Or no, because it's from the same person. Or there's emails. Which do you want to do?
Let's start with the emails.
Whoa, that ruled.
So, by the way, I've just got that free game. There you go. Just thought I'd let you know. Okay, emails.
Thanks.
Here we go. The first email is from Mark. And he says this.
Mark Singh. Is this Mark Singh?
It is question
MS
time.
Ranger.
MS Rangers. He says, question time.
Hello.
Go on.
Good evening, gentlemen.
What up, biatch?
It's a would you rather.
Would you rather?
Would you rather
Yes.
be allowed to play video games only once a week, or
Don't even do that.
not play any for 1 year, but then be allowed to play whenever you wanted?
1 year.
I'll be playing once a week. So I'll play a day.
From now on, only play once a week, or have to go without for a year. And
1
then
year.
have...
One
whole
year.
year. No, I don't think I could not play for a year.
Yeah.
It would be tough to not play for a year, but it would also be tough not to play for 6 days out of the week.
I would do the 1 year. I would manage, and then, but then you'd miss out on a whole year. You'd be like,
Yeah, you would. Think some amazing games came out that year.
Yeah, but they're not going anywhere. You can play them when the year is over.
That's what I'm saying. So like this year, I'd be like, oh, I've got all these games. I can play.
Ooh, the Division Heartland.
Yeah, but then all those
Division
games come out the
Heartland.
year when you start playing games again. So you're going to be constantly in this battle.
I'm in that now, Stu.
I know,
that's the way my life is all the time anyway. I'm always like, hey, this game's cheap. I'll play it now.
The problem with vid games is that they're bloody too long.
Bloody games.
Like you watch a movie, you watch it and it's done. But with vid games, it's like play it longer. You don't watch a movie and it goes watch it longer. Why don't you watch it more? Like it never happens. Just
well, some TV shows do that. It's like,
well, yeah, TV shows can fuck off and all.
Yeah, Duke, by the way, we watched a terrible movie last night. Chinny hadn't heard of it, but it's probably the sort of thing you may have watched at some point. And that's a film called Enemy. Have you heard of this?
I have not heard of it. It's based on the magazine?
I have no idea. No, it's based on a book called Doubles or something. But it's basically Jake Gyllenhaal, whatever you pronounce it, right? And he plays a character who finds out that there's a doppelganger of him in the movie, like playing bit parts in the movies, and then he decides to contact him and see what he can find out.
So it's actually it's Jake Gyllenhaal as Jake Gyllenhaal.
Yeah, he plays both characters.
It sounds exactly like Carl Pilkington's movie that he pitched to Ricky and Steve about Tom Cruise dying and then coming back as this other dude who's a plumber or something.
Adam Bell is a Toronto area history college professor. He's a rather somber man, largely because he's stuck in a routine which includes a relationship with his living girlfriend, Mary. While watching a rental movie, he spots an actor in a bit part that looks like him. He becomes obsessed with finding out about his double of his. He learns that the actor's stage name is Mike Chin.
Yeah, he does. So yeah, that's basically the bit, and it was fucking weird.
Yeah.
It was kind of trying to be Fight Club, but didn't quite succeed.
You know what movie's a lot like Fight Club that's really, really good? It's
yeah,
Fight Club.
Fight fucking Club.
Just watch Fight Club.
Should have watched that movie again.
Fucking Logic is a good rapper, but his book, Supermarket, is a rip-off of Fight Club. What the fuck, dude?
I watched a movie last night at the cinema. I watched the Mario movie.
Mario.
Oh, yeah, I want to see that, but I'm too lazy to go to the movies.
Basically, if you just made a list of all the things that you want to see in a Mario movie happen,
right.
There you go.
I bet they're going to be.
They're in there, and
We
then they
should've gone
left.
to see that after the Macbeth.
And then they left out enough to go.
Yeah.
But they didn't do that. Sequel, excellent.
Sequel.
So I thought it was good fun. Jack Black kills it. I think Charlie Day as Luigi is brilliant, and then the whole Chris Pratt as Mario thing. Like I never even thought about it. It's fine. So yeah, it's all good. It's all good.
Yeah, there you go.
But I think Charlie Day from Always Sunny, he's a great Luigi. Very, very good.
Well, we're going to watch it next week, so I'll let you know.
Yes, I'm sure you will.
Okay,
You're not like someone
there's
to
another.
talk about on and on about something all the time.
Shut up. He's got a second would you rather question. Are you ready?
Yeah, go for it.
Would you rather play a game that you know you dislike every day for a week, or play a game that Stu, Chinny, or Duke choose, or your colleagues choose for you?
Well, that kind of is what Play My Game Bitch is. So, I mean, you know, obviously the second one, because at least sometimes it's going to be good.
Yeah.
Why would I? I mean, why would you ever choose the I know it's going to suck?
I think the idea maybe is that, like, in this scenario, Stu would pick, like, me to play
weird.
something like The Complex or some shit like that.
Yeah.
Or like that skeleton game.
Yeah.
What's it called?
Birth.
Birth is good, Birth.
They're from a dirty planet called
In other words, he says, do you trust your own judgment rather than be stitched up by your buddies?
Well, no, because sometimes a stop clock is going to be right twice a day. So
yeah, it
occasionally Stu is correct that I.
To be fair, right? I always try and pick games that
I know, but it doesn't mean you have.
No, but
good
you have this
judgment.
delusion, Stu. You have this delusion.
I think you like it.
That for one day, Chinny will just click and just like all these awful games.
Exactly, and then he'll apologize for all the times you were mean to him, Chinny.
But it will never happen.
It never happened. He says anyway, thank you and good night, Mark. So thank you, Mark.
Thanks, Mark.
Jacinta. Oh, freaking hell, it's another audio. Wait a minute, let me forward this to Duke. I hadn't realised it was an audio.
Fun never
Well, she's
stops
probably
here,
played
people.
the game, isn't she?
Yeah,
she's
I know,
playing
but
the
I
game.
just thought she'd done an email version this time.
Well, I'm sorry that she took the time out, Stu.
I know, it's good. I have fast forwarded it. I fast forwarded it over to Duke.
Yeah.
It's over at Duke. So you can either do this first, or you can do this.
I bet people wish they could fast forward this fucking podcast.
Yeah, I bet they fucking do.
Well, they can though.
No, with a cassette tape. With a cassette tape.
We are starting with Wreckfest. Hopefully she got.
Hello guys, it's Jacinta here. I did the Play My Game Bitch this week, even though it's kind of not really my thing. I did only play
Audio's
for about
better.
15 minutes. The Wreckfest, I played the lawnmower one and then maybe like a normal track one. Unfortunately, I can't make the playdate thing because that's going to be 1 a.m. on a school night. So
Oh, I see. We're not.
Lame excuse.
Please,
Lame
that is not
excuse.
Thank you for fixing your audio levels, by the way, Jacinta. And by the way, 15 minutes. That's 5 minutes more than I played it. So, you know.
that's not really going to work. Yeah, I thought the music was so emo and like
Yeah, it was.
sounded like the stuff my sister used to listen to when she was 16.
It was shit, yeah.
And I found that the controls were weird. The WASD wasn't the default keybinds. I know that playing mouse and keyboard is like really stupid, but I don't have a controller at the moment.
Well, even I played it with a controller. Wow, the heck.
What's going on?
As soon as I started the game up, I was like, wait a minute, no, let me turn this music off and put on Ministry's Jesus Built My Hot Rod. That is the best music for a game like this.
Yeah,
any game that involves crashing into things. A dig it down, 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 bing, bang, bing, dig it down, down. So FYI, anybody playing a game where you drive fast and crash into stuff, trust me, go find Ministry's song, Jesus Built My Hot Rod. You'll thank me later.
And I just thought the graphics were pretty shit looking, really. I can imagine it being fun with friends, but there was nothing compelling about that really for me at all. I was just like, my partner walked in and was like, huh?
Started
like,
crying.
So confused as to the fact that I was playing this because I don't even like driving a real car.
Just had to like hit pause. Like, oh, don't look.
I'm watching porn.
I was doing our taxes.
Yeah. So kind of a piece of shit, but maybe I'm being unfair because of my predisposed disdain for that entire genre. So I did it though.
You did it.
Yeah, you did do
please make sure that you decide on one this week so I can play again. I like doing this. It's fun.
Ah,
Well, we're doing.
That's what we
We
intend.
like hearing from you, so
That's what
it's
we
fun
intend.
for us
We're doing
as well.
Minecraft Legends.
Minecraft Legends. It's a good thing
Minecraft.
we decided on it so that we can let people know.
Minecraft Legends. Let's do
There
that.
you go.
Yes, check it out, people. All right, and now it's time for the proper speak pipes. I should play it before we hear Jacinta's, because that's basically a speak pipe. But anyway.
Speak pipe. It's the way to leave a message for us.
If you like that music, you should check out rivennucleicrecords.com because we got lots of music like that up there. Okay, this is from Jay, and hopefully it's going to provide us with some good suggestions about audio we could have on the show.
Sex noises into the microphone for 10 seconds.
This is a minute 14, part 1.
Hello, veteran gamers, it's Jay, and yes, it was me with the silly voice last
You got me.
week complaining about the sound effect. Mainly because I have voice mod, and there was a few new voices on there that I wanted to give a test. One was called Old Man or something that made me sound vaguely like an old man, so I wanted an excuse to give that a go. And secondly, yes, I do actually fucking hate that sound clip. But the reason I hate that sound clip and a few other ones is context. I have no idea who this person is. Or
Okay, well then that's a you problem. If you
Well,
need
let
to know
him speak.
both
Let him speak. Maybe.
Well,
maybe.
let him say
No,
his
I don't let
thing.
people speak.
what they stand for or anything like that. If I did, I would probably hate them less. So if you can give me context to that sound effect
Bo
and
Burnham.
to any other ones, basically, next week, when you play a sound clip, give everyone the context of the sound clip as you play them. That would be great.
Oh my god, we'll have to have a look at 10-hour show.
The podcast would be 4 hours long, but
Yes.
Yeah, it
at
would.
least these sound effects wouldn't irritate me as quite as much.
Okay, well, in that case, here's the thing. Last week, we got this really weird speak pipe from someone whose voice sounded really freakish and strange, and he was complaining constantly about our sound clips. So I took part of that speak pipe and I made this sound clip.
Sex noises into the microphone for 10 seconds.
But as you could hear, it's a lot funnier when I just play it without context, and like I did at the start of the show. So that's the context of that sound clip. You're welcome, Jay.
But yes, so that's basically that. Give me some context, or I will continue to hate it. Thank you very much. Bye.
I have a feeling it's not an either-or type thing all the time.
Yeah. Did you send another
Well,
one?
thank you, Jay. We appreciate
Yeah, there was a
that.
part
Yeah, there
two.
is
There's a
part
part
two. You
two.
ready?
Part two.
Okay, this is 14 seconds. So the context is Jay just sent us a speak pipe, and then he had something else he
Yes.
wanted to say, probably.
there's another
so
one,
he sent
yeah.
this sound clip.
Sure, this
So
will be fine.
to preface it, I will use a different audio clip from Jay.
Sex noises into the microphone for 10 seconds.
All right, so here's the second part from Jay.
Oh, and whilst I'm here, John Mouse, John Nesney, Dan Natman, Give me a message. Let's do a fucking podcast, for crying out loud. It's been too long. We need to do another podcast. Joystick and Chill will be coming soon.
Yeah.
Okay, if I could say this, is our fucking podcast some town square where people
just
are
like,
like, hey,
yeah,
why
yeah.
don't we do a podcast?
Well, we're consistent.
Connection crowd. How
the
about
reason
you,
why
read my email?
the reason why, Eric, is because we're consistent and we're every week.
Fucking
So
get
people
a
know.
Twitter. Jesus Christ, don't you have email addresses?
Yeah, we've had
Email
Twitter
address.
for 13 years, by the way.
Let me just say this to my mom. If somebody could get a message to my mom, please. Happy birthday. I know I'm
exactly.
sorry.
I
didn't
only
send you
talk to my
flowers.
wife through this show.
The Duchess wish I only talked to her.
By the way, Chinny, I missed a video game story for the news. I had one that I sent myself.
Oh, bloody yeah.
I know, you'll like
What's
this.
this amateur hour?
No, do you like this?
Oh, I ain't got time for
We
this.
gotta move on. Nothing,
No,
no
listen.
time.
This is
Go on,
a very
go on.
credible source.
Right.
For
Now be careful, because you're on thin ice with Duke with that shit.
It was in the Sun this week.
Oh yeah, credible. Yeah, the Sun.
It was in the Sun. And
Garbage
basically-
newspaper.
Tongue-in-cheekness.
No, you like this. Snooker star Neil Robertson.
Yes, got addicted
has
to World of
revealed-
Warcraft. Yeah.
He revealed how his addiction to video games hampered his career and his
Correct.
personal life.
Correct.
There you go.
He got
You gotta
sick of
play
that and
games
League of
mindfully,
Legends,
people.
And he got so addicted that rather than practicing to play snooker so he could win more titles, he just played video games instead.
Yeah, he's never talked
Maybe you
about
could
what
win a title on that.
he's never talked about what games he actually plays, but his theme
So
song.
he said I was addicted to League of Legends, World of Warcraft,
Yeah.
and our podcast favorite, FIFA.
FIFA.
It was ridiculous.
His theme when he walks in is, I think, is a League of Legends song.
Is it?
Yeah.
He said, so I was staying up all night playing these video games. My partner Millie absolutely hated it.
Yep.
League of Legends is banned now in the house, and
Yep.
rightly so. It's just awful.
And he paints like Warhammer figures as well, which I
Yeah.
suppose isn't as bad of a hobby because that's like actually
No,
doing something with your
it's
hands.
quite
but-
therapeutic. as
Yeah,
well.
Yeah, I don't know. Tim Kelly looks like he's got a
Uh,
problem, man. I see you on Twitter out there painting them figures. Tim, you go ahead.
You painting those figures again,
He
Tim
does
Kelly.
go on to say video gaming is obviously extremely unhealthy. Not always. Can we just put some
Yeah.
context on
See,
this?
in the snooker
It
world,
depends on
like
what you're doing.
whenever they mention like video games in the snooker world, it's like, oh, Neil Robinson got addicted. They're evil, and I'm like, no, they're not. He played League of Legends, which is
He played the
one of
crack of video
one of the
games,
most
basically.
addictive video
And
games.
World of Warcraft.
Yeah, World of Warcraft. Like they're so addictive, those games. They grab people, and they don't let them
And
go.
they're addictive by design. Like
Yeah.
and they keep working to become more and more addictive, so that my students, they'll be sitting there playing video games, and I'm like, dude, you got work to do. He's like, can't. I just gonna do one more game.
Yeah. So it's
I feel bad for
there,
kids
There's a
these days.
story of apparently Neil Robinson where his wife went to bed and said, "Oh, could you make sure that the baby's okay in 10 minutes or something?" And he was playing League of Legends, and then he turned round and his wife was holding the baby, and it was like 2 hours later. So it's like, I mean, that's like,
He said literally, he
That's
said he was playing till the birds were tweeting.
yeah. I mean, we've all been there. Like we've all
we've all done
we can't
it.
look at Neil and go like, "Oh, what preposterous!" Like
It's
we've
a little
all been
different
addicted.
when the baby's not being taken care
It's
of.
a little different when it affects your career. It affects your
Well,
work
he's
life.
saying he's not saying he would have won a lot more tournaments, but he would have probably got further in the tournaments he played in had he
Yeah.
not been doing it.
Yeah, he had a lapse, and he's a lot better now though. But he's knocked out. He's knocked out
Well,
of the
no,
world.
that's the important thing. Is like, are you honest about your problem? Are you taking steps to deal with it in some way?
He knocked in. I know this is lost on Duke, but he knocked in 2 1-4-6s in a row, Stu.
It's not lost on me.
Yeah,
146
that's
is
pretty impressive.
amazing, and to get
Well,
2 of them.
1-4-7. The highest break in snooker is 1-4-7. Well, you can get a
I think
1-5.
you'll find it's 179.
You
But
can get if you
you
get a
can,
free
yeah,
ball,
if you get a free
you
ball.
can
and all
get
that.
a higher
But
one.
5-2-8.
1-4-7 is the max, but 1-4-6 is a really rare break because not many people go for a 1-4-6. But he got 2 1-4-6s in a row, which is like crazy.
And he was doing it naked.
And he was doing it naked, and
playing
yeah.
World of Warcraft whilst he was
and he was doing a raid. Yeah, but he got knocked out by.
Shut that baby up.
He got knocked out, Stu, by an unknown. He got knocked out by Jack
It
Jones.
happens.
Yeah,
it happens
yeah.
though, doesn't it? It does happen.
He got knocked out
Sure
yesterday.
does.
Yeah.
So there you go, people. Right? Games aren't evil, but don't play until it's time to get up. Just
Be
saying.
honest about your addiction.
Yeah.
Hmm.
And that's about it. So we do need to do some shout outs and get the hell.
I'm addicted to
out of-
recording.
It's time for a shout out. Hey!
I'm addicted to recording this podcast.
I know we are. We've been doing it for
every week, man. I can't go.
So many 15 years, people. 15 fucking years.
Grade papers today instead. No.
Tara was looking at me this morning, going, "Are you okay? You keep itching the inside of your mouth," and I'm like, "I just got to record a show.
I used to do 2 podcasts a week. Ugh.
Yeah, you did.
You don't do the Syncast anymore, do you?
I'm taking a break from it, and not on purpose. I just
What do you do about the masses that gather outside your farm demanding another episode?
Yeah, right, those. You mean the one person in 3 years that was like, "Hey, you should do a Syncast."
You should do. I enjoyed it.
I used to listen every week.
Because I'm glad to hear it. That does make me.
It gave me a window into a bunch of shit that I don't know about.
Yeah, we never.
And I don't know anything about this. I'm so stupid. Now I know a little bit about it. I'm going to pass these ideas off as of my own in several social occasions.
But less stupid.
Yes.
Well, maybe I will do one. That gives me the urge to do it now. So
yeah, I know what you mean. I don't make videos anymore.
By the way,
I don't stream anymore, really.
Some stuff just takes time. You know?
Talking of doing one, right? We went out for a day. This is just completely unrelated. But we went for a day out, right? And you know, Chinny, in the UK, where you come across these like little tiny country roads where you got like passing places and stuff because they're so small and you can't get.
Yeah, like laybys.
Laybys or whatever. And we're driving down one of these narrow roads, right? There's a car with an old dude coming towards me. So I pulled into the side.
Yeah.
So he could get past. Then he pulled into the side.
Fucking
right?
yeah.
So I then drove past him. Put my, when you wave to thank someone.
Yeah.
Yeah. And he shot you.
He gave me the finger. I was like,
oh, wow.
What just happened?
Yeah.
I was like, why? Yeah, he basically did that. And he had this proper dagger's look on his face. I'm like, what did I just do? And Kay's like, nothing. And I'm like, why did he do that? I have no idea.
This is what I always say. About those situations. You don't know what kind of day he's had.
No, it was just so funny.
He could have been on the way back from someone could have a family member could have died. He could have had just like a really bad day. You never ever know. This is a lesson for everybody. Whenever somebody snubs you off or like rude to you, and you think, what a prick. Like, you just don't know. You don't know what could have happened to them that day. Give them the benefit of the doubt. And then if they're a dick to you the next time, spit in their face.
Well, that's basically what he did with the finger. He gave me the finger, man.
Well, I can't say I can't blame him. I mean, I've been tempted.
Yeah, who knew? So there you go. Anyway, so I'm going to shout him out tonight on my shout-outs because,
that guy.
The guy who gave me the finger.
The guy who gave you the finger.
There you go. Nice, man. Right,
lovely bloke.
Who are you shouting out?
Shouting out the Vegas gang. What? Vegas crew.
Oh,
Vegas. Vegas. Robin.
Hey. Are you going to Vegas?
Are you going to say anything, or are you just going to keep
Vegas?
Yeah. We're going to Vegas on the 18th of May. And Greg, I'll tell you what, Greg is organised. He is organised. He's got a spreadsheet. That's about it. But it's pretty organised stuff. He's been booking
what's
things.
On the spreadsheet?
Let me load that bad boy up for you, mate.
What's going to be on this spreadsheet?
Sexcapades.
Yeah, which casinos you gonna visit?
No, it's not like that. It's just all the stuff that needs paying for, which I haven't paid for any of it, and I refuse to.
Haven't. If he thinks he's getting any cash on you, he's got another thing coming.
I ain't paying for shit.
Yeah, fuck that shit.
Yes. So, what are we? He's got a whole thing of when we arrive, who owes what money, where the hotel is, the number of the hotel, the address. Then he's got an activities calendar tab on the spreadsheet. You'd be very impressed with this spreadsheet, dude.
I would.
It's very
like
Stu.
a spreadsheet.
You love
a
spreadsheet.
Love a spreadsheet.
I do. And then activities, we've got escape room with live actors.
Okay.
So that
sounds cool.
So that's fun. We've got because Greg put some feelers out there of like, what do you want? What does everybody want to do? What does everybody want to do? I said I want to shoot a gun. I want to shoot a real gun because last time I was in Vegas with my lovely wife, I completely forgot that this was a thing. I was like, oh yeah, in America, they just give you a gun for existing. I forgot. And now
you should be playing the Childish Gambino song "This Is America" the whole time you're shooting.
This is America,
yeah.
Now, look, I don't agree with the NRA and all that sort of stuff, but shooting guns is cool. We all know that.
It's always cool.
And I said to Greg, I don't care what I do. I just want to shoot a fucking gun, and that's me happy. So we got a gun range going. We're going to some restaurants that he's booked, and we're going to a comedy show, and we're going to a go-kart thing. That was Robin's Bongo's thing, obviously, because he's into his racing now. Shout out to Bongo's Bits if you want to check him out and watch his racing simulator shit. It's very good. He's got a cool rig. So we're doing go-karting. Blah, 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 blah. Pete's request. Do you want to know what Pete really wanted to do?
No, what did he want to do?
He wanted to visit a pawn shop.
Why?
Well,
Pete's weird.
Are there none of those in the UK?
I don't. Well, yeah, but I think he just wanted to like a grotty one.
I want to see an American pawn shop.
Yeah.
Hey, actually, I can help out with that. Here's what you should do. You ready, Pete? You listening?
Yeah. Here we go.
Go on the internet.
Oh yeah, there is that.
Because it's like everywhere on the internet, from what I hear.
Yeah. We got comedy show. Marshy's thing, I think, was like he wants to play golf, so we're playing Top Golf, which is kind of like a rooftop driving range. I think it's something like that with a bar, and then lots of casino. We're doing a helicopter tour. I think I'm not sure if I'm going to do that though, because Pete's not going to do it. Well, Pete was very unclear about whether he was going to do it. He just sent me a GIF of like somebody shaking their head, helicopter tour.
That sounds like a no.
I think that was a no.
It sounds like a no.
So, yeah, I don't know. I've never been in a helicopter, but I know my lovely wife is not a big fan of helicopters, so I'm not sure she'd be happy with me going in one.
Yeah, do you know I've also never been in a helicopter.
No, I've never been in one, but they crash a lot, don't they? They crash a lot.
Well, not a lot.
Have you been in one, Duke? Yeah, have you been in a helicopter?
I have not been in a helicopter. I don't think I have. Part of me
finally,
thinks that at some point I was.
Finally, thank fuck, right?
What?
Something that we've all got in common.
Yeah, I know. It's very rare.
we're all middle-aged white guys. I mean,
yeah.
Well.
Apart from that,
apart from that, none of us have been in a helicopter.
Oh, there's yeah. So apparently,
none of us
like,
have ever been shot. There's that.
At the go-karting, there's the opportunity to race a supercar, but also at the gun range.
Now here's the question, Chinny: are you going to be driving a go-kart off of a helicopter while shooting a gun? Because that's really the American
that's the real
experience.
American route.
I like that.
At the gun range, there is an opportunity. I'm sure if you pay the money, you can drive a tank over a car, which is something that I quite like the idea of doing. So that would be fun. Anyway, fun. Gambling. Spend all my money on poker. Put it all on black, and I'm done. So that'll be Vegas. Shout out to the Vegas crew. Vegas crew.
Chinny, over to you.
I'm literally talking right now.
No, not Chinny. Duke even. Chinny's been.
Yeah, I'll shout out Amar, who keeps sending me random things, and he's finally watching season 8 of Brooklyn Nine-Nine. So, yeah, because
we're on season.
It's now on Netflix over there.
Yeah, we're on season 7, I think, on Brooklyn Nine-Nine.
Okay.
Yeah.
Beautiful. Well, they took it off of Netflix here and Hulu, so Peacock.
Little...
But Peacock just has this new show that they're adding called Mrs. Smith, which sounds really cool. It's this nun in these really colorful outfits fighting against a demonic AI or something. I'm like, yeah, I want to check it out.
Sure.
Yes, I agree. A shout out AWJ Gamer. Brooklyn Nine-Nine's a really good watch. Season 8. I agree. It is good. I think it's a really good example of a funny show taking on some very important topics.
It's a great show.
So a lot of shows don't.
Hitchcock
really
and Scully have the best lines.
They're the best backstory.
If there's too much of Hitchcock and Scully, it's not funny. But they always have like 1 or 2 lines, and it's always the funniest line in the episode.
It's great. Shout out to him. Shout out to Tainted Brain, because he's always he's like a guy who always likes my stuff on Twitter. I really appreciate
He's a good guy.
It lets
in
me know
Japan.
that people are paying attention. Japan. And shout out to the Duchess, because we're gonna go see Macbeth. She got us tickets for this coming weekend, so I'm very excited about that. Yay.
Oh, you didn't mention it.
I know, right?
Yeah, who knew?
Make sure you go on the right. Make sure you go on the right day.
Yeah, exactly. All right,
that's it.
Not done their shout outs?
Yeah, we're done.
Okay, thanks for listening, everybody.
Oh, God.
Talk about sound clips that you hate.
Fucking pricks. Turn the podcast off. Oh, wait, you don't need to do that because it'll turn off when it ends. Why don't you listen to another podcast, you ungrateful fuck? So there you go.
Sex noises into the microphone for 10 seconds.
There you go.
Is that the end?
All right, show's over. No refunds. You heard the robot. Get out.
Do you want me to play the actual end?
Whoa,
song?
you can't. We can't have a show.
We've
where you
never
haven't
had an
played it.
episode where we haven't played it.
No, you got to play the outro.
Contract is very specific. I do not have to answer that question.
Damn it! I'm such an idiot. I totally forgot that when we were talking about Wreckfest, the idea of having an actual racing game where you're trying to drive your car properly in the middle of a demolition derby game is exactly like Milhouse with his model plane. They're like, come on, Milhouse, make it crash.
Perfectly level flying is the supreme challenge of the scale model pilot.
They should have named the game Breakfast.
Yeah, they should.
Yeah,
Breakfast.
because then you could be eating some eggs and bacon while you drive.
Breakfast.
Sorry,
can I just
beans
say
on
that
toast.
we should have shouted out a WJ gamer, who I don't know whether we've ever had in the chat before, who was very
Hi.
chatty.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah,
thanks,
yeah.
AWJ Gamer,
Sean
very
Teal.
chat.
Yeah, we like chatty people.
Brooklyn Nine-Nine is a really good watch. Season 8. It's actually pretty good.
That's
Season
right.
8. It's good. Hitchcock and Sully are the weirdest ones, but in a good way. Lol.
Derek.
Bye.
Sounds like a great guy.
They are the funniest thing in the show.
They're
funny. Tara had this thing. Sorry, we will go. But Tara had this thing about we were watching Brooklyn Nine-Nine, and I said we didn't know where we were, like where we were up to, where we stopped watching because we watched it years ago. I was like, what episode are we on? I don't know. And we was watching an episode, and I was laughing away, and I was like, oh, I think I've seen this one because this and that happened. And Tara just immediately switched off because she'd already seen it. But she hadn't realised she'd already seen it until I pointed out that we'd already seen it.
Right.
And now she's like, we've already seen it, so therefore I don't care about watching this episode.
Yeah,
I'm
I'm
like,
the same.
but I'm still,
I'm very much
like, but I don't remember every joke. Like,
no, true. But
there's
I'm
like
with-
100
I'm with
jokes
her
an
on this.
episode.
I'm with her on this, sir.
No, I'm like, let's just
Once
watch
you've
it.
seen it,
I'm
you've
the
seen it.
opposite. I'm like, let's see
Seen
it
it.
again.
Seen
Because
it.
like, the amount of comedy shows I've watched, like, time and time and time again. Like, I've watched the thick of it probably about 20 times now. And I'd watch it again. I'd watch it. It's just the best
Because
thing.
it's entertaining even if you've seen it before.
Well, as much as I love you two, I'm at work tomorrow, so I'm
Bagger
going to
off then.
Okay.
and leave you.
Yeah.
Bagger off.
I'm gonna
See
go
you
grade these
later.
papers.
Speak to you
Have a
next
great week, y'all.
I will. You
See
too.
ya.
Bye. Bye. Bye.